watching Blunt Politics with Boston Brian.
Let's go. Welcome back. I think for the first time, Blunt Politics could be what is considered in front of a live audience. I think, right? Because it be considered a live audience? I think it would be. We got my friend Logie here. You want to come say hi, my man? Come on, hop in for a sec. Come say hi. We might have an appearance from Bowie as well, our mascot here, our resident mascot. Come on, come say hi. This is Logan. Logan wanted to come say hi. What do you got here? This is the next up and coming YouTuber right here. So this is the Pan Hat VR. If you see that, just shooting up the charts on YouTube. This is the man behind the scenes right here. He's also going to be helping me with the technical aspects of what's going on because he's a lot smarter than I am and he's a lot brighter than I am and he knows a lot more about this stuff. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, Logan. You want to help me out in the background?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Now, I guess we could pose the question too, but I don't want to put you on the spot. But you know how Donald Trump always asks that, says, you know, he asks a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old a question on what he would have done with Afghanistan. But maybe at some point today, we'll test out the theory of what a young that whole time. Well, that's no good. All right. Can you hear me now? Are we back? We might have to run that all. Yeah, we're going to have to get Logan back. You did? How the hell did it click over to mute? After Logan left. All right, Rox, appreciate it. So seems like everything wants to work for Logan and nothing wants to work for me. So that's just the way it's going to be. Maybe I'll just get out of the seat, have Logan run the show. But I appreciate you joining me. As I was saying, this is Blunt Politics. I am Boston Brian. And if this is the first time, I do appreciate you joining us. Hit the like, subscribe, share it out to everywhere you could possibly share it out to. Lots to get through today. Another week of Donald Trump showing us that he doesn't want a meritocracy. He wants just the closest, most corrupt people in his circle to be in the most powerful positions in the government. So much to get through between Kash Patel, Charles Kushner, Keith Kellogg trying to be the Ukraine envoy, which is basically they're going to try to really butter you up. They're going to try to really make it seem like they're going to be doing what's in Ukraine's best interests. But really, they're just going to be doing anything they possibly can to get Russia out of this horrendous situation that they put themselves in. Still blurry, a little fuzzy. Well, maybe you guys are just hungover. Yes to hearing a blurred video. All right, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to do this. It does say, let me try. I'm afraid to hit that disconnect, but I shouldn't have the Wi-Fi on, right? If I'm on the extension.
I don't think so.
All right, so I'm going to try that. Oh, I'm back. Does that work? Let me know if that's a little better. Low res. Hello. Trucker John. What's up, my man? Will you get that out of here for crying out loud? It's better now? Better. All right. I think it's because I had the Wi-Fi on and I was trying to run it. Through the extension as well. So I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. If you missed it, my man Logan came in to say hi. He's a lot more handsome than I am, so it's only blurry when I'm on, I'm sure. But yeah, as I was saying, we got more corruption. I think we have more corruption, more criminals, more sleazebags, more douchebags, and more assholes in the government that's about to take over, in the administration that's about to take over, than outside of the administration. You know what I mean? So like the FBI has Kash Patel potentially heading that, so we're going to take a look at some of the past statements from Kash Patel, some of the stuff that he said about, subpoenaing people that have gone after Donald Trump, what he plans to do with the power if he were to take over the FBI from former Trump appointee FBI director. So let me see if we can get into this. The first thing. see here. This. All right. So Charlie Kush, as if we didn't have enough scumbag. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do. Hold on. Time out. Let me bring the chat back in. I didn't say hi to the chat. No, we have the best people. Yeah. What's up, BJ? What's up, Wes? Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I forgot to mention that too. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll take a look at maybe Donald Trump's ridiculous Thanksgiving message that he continues to put out every single year. I don't know. The man just cannot get like a hold of reality, get grips on himself for 2 seconds to act like an adult. But that's beyond the point. But hi, Phyllis. What's going on? Flapper. OG Adam, what's happening, brother? John Adam, what's happening? Emergency. Remedial Truth. What's up? How are you? Bob, Mozart, Butterflies Are Free. BJ, Tanya, thank you for your services. Sue, Fairy, Dust, what's happening? Steve, Crystal, how are you? Cosmic Rose, Beth, Andrew, Cole, Lisa, Julie, Vicky, Bob. All right. Thank you. I appreciate the whole group, the whole gang's here, the whole group. We're going to get right into it. It doesn't stop. How are you? Who'd I miss? Like I met somebody right. Stretch, what's up, brother? What's going on? Slacks. I hope you saw the shirt that Logan is wearing. I hope it wasn't too blurry, but he's got the old Slacks present on that I brought with me. So I appreciate that, Slacks. Shout out to Slacks. The photo, Vance was great. Is that one where he said he was going to be Donald Trump's like wife or something like that? I don't think I actually saw that one. I saw people talking about it. I don't think I actually saw that one. But yeah, there's so much to get into. Like I said, we're going to take a look at some videos from Kash Patel on when he was on with Steve Bannon. Kash Patel, what he said at some of the Republican conventions. We'll be taking a look at some of the things that Keith Kellogg has said in the past. We'll be taking a look at Keith Kellogg. That way we can know what to expect. That way we're not blindsided and surprised when Keith Kellogg does some ridiculous things at the behest of Donald Trump as far as Ukraine-Russia war is considered. So, we want to make sure that we know the in and out. We want to make sure that, like I said, we're not blindsided. We're not surprised by anything they do. We want to be one step ahead of them. In every aspect. That way, like I said, we're not surprised, and that we can make the appropriate actions and take the appropriate steps when and if they are needed. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Ichabod, I appreciate you spreading the word over there in TP's chat. I do appreciate that. And all right, let's get into it. So, Sally, thank you so much. Member for 7 months. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you long time members too, the people that have been here from day one. You guys are absolutely fantastic and are the reason that the show continues to grow and continues to be able to do things like this. So hold on, get out of the chat and hit the like button if you haven't already. Sally, music to my ears. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Let's see here. My mouse is sticking, but that's all right. All right, let's get right into if you didn't hear again. Donald Trump just continues to promote, nominate, just in every way, shape, or form, try to push the most ludicrous, most ridiculous, most corrupt people into the most powerful positions, into the positions he knows can control and have the control over not only the United States, but on a global stage as well. So let me see if I can bring this in for you, bring that in for you. And that button works. I am? Let's see here. Is the video any better for the chat? I got Brian, it's blurry. I see you, Pan Hat. You got a wrench? Oh, that's dangerous. Control, isn't Charles Kushner a felon? Well, we'll get into that in this article. We'll get into that. I mean, it's amazing to me that Donald Trump hasn't yet been able to pick somebody that doesn't at least have one or two scandals behind them, shot one or two dogs, sexually abused one or two women, have been pardoned one or two times, have some financial crimes in their background, have a criminal rap sheet in some way, shape, or form. Zero of his administrative picks have been clean, squeaky clean, nothing behind them, no past where the skeletons are going to come popping out of the closet. Every single one of them has had something behind them. Every single one of them. And again, Charles Kushner is no different. And we've heard from Jared Kushner that supposedly he wants to be removed from the administration. He wants to focus on his bullshit firm that he started that just so happened to get $2 or $3 billion from, some of the dirtiest people in the world. But that's for another show. For another show, we'll get into that. This article just gets into a little bit about Charles Kushner, a little bit about his past dealings, and again, I think it's important for us to know who these people are. So let's see here. Drain the swamp, right? Stretch, correct. As far as draining the swamp goes, Donald Trump has literally added several more alligators, crocodiles, hippopotamuses, or hippopotami. Is it hippopotami? Hippopotamus or hippopotami?
It's hippopotamus versus clipodiliophobia.
Well, I don't know if that's what it is, but anyway, it's like he's already added more sharks to the sea in this. You know what I mean? And his people just don't see through it yet. They just have not seen through it. Some have. Like I said, since the beginning of these administrative picks by Donald Trump, there has absolutely been some dissension in the ranks as far as MAGA, as far as, the people that thought Donald Trump was going to come in and, put in people that were not pro-war and people that were not, corrupt in every way, shape, or form. But he's done exactly the opposite. So there are some people in the ranks that are, not happy with the picks. But as far as the overwhelming majority of the MAGA people, the overwhelming majority of Republicans seem to be okay with these picks. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. I don't tend to reason or try to reason with these people anymore. Well, all I can do is react at what's coming at me, and that's what I'm going to do for the foreseeable future. So I don't understand how these people don't see through the bullshit where, it's I'm going to drain the swamp, I'm going to drain the swamp, I'm going to drain the swamp. Yet I'm going to put on, war hawks, China hawks, Ukraine hawks, Russia simping people, people known for pushing Russian propaganda, people known for advocating for the bombing of Iran, advocating for other countries to bomb Iran, advocating for, getting women out of the military so that they could, put together this formidable fighting force of strong men. Not dragged down, weighted down by women, so to speak. Obviously, this is their thinking, not mine. It's amazing, right? Right. Hold on. What was that? E equals MC squared. MC squared equals pi. Pi equals 3.14. But that's true. But that's not true to the Republicans and people that support Donald Trump. That 2 + 2 equals like 97 to these people. That's the problem. So we're doing real math, right? And we're going by real mathematical equations and rules of society and laws. And they're not, right? So this is why they've been able to kind of sneak ahead to be able to get their voice on an equal playing field, if not on a higher playing field, even though their ideas, their morals, their beliefs are abhorrent at best. You know what I mean? So this is some of the reason why. Happy belated birthday. Oh, thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that. And happy belated Thanksgiving. Again, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving with friends, family, alone, however you enjoy spending your Thanksgiving. If you're watching from abroad, I hope you had a wonderful, weekend, I guess we could say. I think people abroad are starting to celebrate more and more, not Thanksgiving as the holiday goes itself, but more and more they seem to be getting together and doing some sort of a meal or something like that, because more and more people have connections to the United States. More and people have, are watching United States television, music, that type of stuff. So more and more it's becoming a thing. So thank you so much, Sheila. And again, happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody. I appreciate you joining me. Again, I'm broadcasting from beautiful and sunny Southern California for the last time on this trip. And yeah, let's get into this article about Chucky. I call him Chucky Kush, but all right. So President-elect Donald Trump on Saturday named Chucky Kush, a real estate developer and father of Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, as his nominee to be ambassador to France for the United States. The announcement made on Trump's Truth Social platform, which again, the announcements, and we're going to take a look at Trump's True Social platform and what he said over the last day or 2 days or so, and the ridiculousness of it. but to be announcing some of the most important positions, some really, really important positions in our government through Truth Social is, again, just it's one of these low hanging fruits that it really pisses me off, but it's probably not on the scale of the more important things. Anyways, quote, I am pleased to nominate Chucky Kush of New Jersey to serve as the U.S. ambassador to France. He is a tremendous business leader, philanthropist, and deal maker who will be a strong advocate representing our country and its interests, Trump wrote on True Social. Together, we will strengthen America's partnership with France, our oldest ally and one of our greatest. Basically, Charles Kushner founded Kushner Company's real estate firm that has since been said to be worth $2.9 billion, according to Forbes in October. His son Jared served as senior advisor in the first Trump administration and is married, as we know, to Ivanka Trump, the president-elect's eldest daughter. However, Jared has previously said he doesn't plan on serving in the president-elect's second administration. He said at an event in Miami in February that he's been, quote, very clear on wanting to focus on his private equity firm. And why not? When you got a couple billion to play with, I'd be focusing on that too. I'd keep myself as far away from the criminals, as far away from the corruption that could possibly be adjudicated and litigated in the future, because it's, let's face it, Jared seemingly got away with this one. I don't see it as Donald Trump has with his past crimes. He seemingly got away with it to this point. So, meanwhile, the nomination comes after Trump controversially pardoned Charles. This is what we were talking about with not a single administrative pick hasn't at least had to be pardoned for crimes, been convicted of crimes, had some sexual assaults in his past, a DUI or two, something in his past that normally would be a red flag when you're, appointing and nominating people to positions of this stature. Controversially pardoned Charles along with several other close associates in 2020. Charles was sentenced to 2 years in prison in 2005 after he pled guilty to 18 counts, including tax evasion and witness tampering. At the heart of the case was Charles's retaliation against his brother-in-law for cooperating with federal investigators. Before he pled guilty to a range of crimes, Charles had discovered that his brother-in-law was cooperating with federal investigators and decided to hatch a plan to intimidate him by paying a prostitute to lure him into a hotel room. So again, trying to get some dirt on him. I'm sure there was a camera set up somewhere so that he could blackmail the hell out of him. The room had, here we go. The room had hidden cameras set up to record the encounter. Charles then had the video sent to his sister, the wife of his brother-in-law. The legal case was prosecuted by Chris Christie, a then U.S. attorney for New Jersey and later governor of the state and a Republican presidential candidate. Christie ran against Trump, yada, 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 24 primaries. Christie had previously described Charles's actions during a January 2019 interview with PBS as, quote, one of the most loathsome, disgusting crimes that I prosecuted when I was U.S. attorney, end quote, and alleged in 2019 book that he was fired from Trump's transition team because Jared held a grudge against him over the elder Kushner's prosecution. So basically, Jared had a little grudge against Chris Christie for actually prosecuting his father and the things that he probably had to say in this PBS interview. And that's at least some of the reasoning behind some of the animosity between Trump and Chris Christie and Jared Kushner. Trump's pick of Charles Kushner comes after he faced backlash over several of his choices and nominees for his upcoming administration, including former Representative Matt Gaetz, former Fox News host Pete Hegseth, billionaire Elon Musk, and RFK, and the rest of these degenerate low-life scumbags that have been at the forefront of controversies involving several factors, including sexual assault allegations. Again, like I've been saying, not the fact that you have one, never mind 2, 3, 4, 7, 12, 20 of the picks that you have some sort of scandal in their past is beyond the pale, is honestly something that this country hasn't had to deal with. And again, that's a lot of what we've seen and heard during Donald Trump's time in our political zeitgeist. You know what I mean? It's just stuff that our legal system, our justice system, our government, the way that we do things just has not been capable of handling, has not been equipped to handle, has just not had to handle, has not been able, had to face situations like this, a person like this, words like this, actions like this ever before. So he's still somehow, after 10 years, almost 10 years of this bullshit, has people on the back foot. And it's amazing to me that we still cannot get on the front foot, get on the offense, get on the attack on this. Is as much ammunition that this guy's given us, as much ammunition and weaponry that we have, to go after this guy, with our words, obviously, politically speaking, hypothetically speaking. It's amazing that he somehow manages to keep the government, the smartest political experts, the smartest legal experts in our country on their back feet, not knowing what is coming next, trying to guess, but obviously guessing wrong at every single turn. It's wild to me. And it's stuff like this that continues to put our media in the government on their heels, on their back foot. When you've got people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Matt Gaetz, Pete Hegseth for SecDef. When you got Charles Kushner for ambassador to France after he had to be pardoned for crimes in the past. It's almost like an overload of the system. You know what I mean? People don't know what to smack down first. So inevitably, some of it trickles through. You can only defend so much. So inevitably, some of it's going to get through. It's kind of like a Gish Gallop effect. It's like Gish Galloping your opponent in a debate, right? You could throw 30 lies at him, right? He might smack down 10 or 15 of them at the most. But the remainder of the lies that you said either aren't going to go to be addressed, or they're going to seemingly sound like they're true. You know what I mean? Without the moderator or the person that you are debating being able to call them out, either for lack of time, not being able to remember everything that was said when you just, spurt out lie after lie after lie after lie. It makes it difficult for your opponent to try to then go after every point that you have line by line and then make sure everybody knows that each thing that you said was a lie. So it's almost like he's doing that to our governmental system and to our media atmosphere. Just being overloaded. They're trying to smack things down, but they shit gets through. It's inevitable that it's going to get through. So let's see here. I think that's a little bit. I think that's what we had to see on that one. So, just a little bit about Chucky Kush again. For the people that may not know, I'm sorry, that was on the screen the whole time. I do apologize, but Sheila, thank you. You get to say, you get the extended on-screen time for your belated happy birthday. I appreciate it. But yeah, if you wanted to think that, oh man, Charles Kushner, doesn't he have the real estate shit? And I don't remember any of his crimes. So he must be above board. He must be a top guy. You know what I mean? He must have no. He's another one of these low-life scumbags, which is exactly why Jared Kushner is in the scene. His family moves to where there's money to be helped. You know what I mean? They needed the help. They were really not doing that well themselves. But now that he's got the 2 or 3 billion coming in from the Saudis and other places that are, notoriously bad actors, then Jared Kushner wants no more of the Trump administration. He wants no more risk of being prosecuted sometime in the future. He's kind of skated on what he's had. So it's amazing, these people. Who else? Oh, again, before we let me bring in the chat again. Hi, Janelle. How are you? Hi, Kathleen. Thank you for joining us. Phyllis, thank you so much. Sicko Fit. Hi, Albert Acosta. How are you? He's shit and voters love the smell. That's a very poignant way to put it. Very poignant. Oh, thank you, Colleen. Look at Colleen. Hold on. Let me see if I can catch it. In the spirit of, quote, Giving Tuesday, support nonprofits. Colleen, you are just an angel. You really are. Just an angel. And we thank you so much for your continuous support of this show and making this possible. Coming back every single week, not only watching and liking and sharing, but being a member, being subscribed, donating every single week. It's really is a huge boost to this channel, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very so much for this. This is why you guys are up there on the list of things to be thankful for. Past the family and health and loved ones and the nearest and dearest to our hearts. But thank you so much for making this possible. I really do appreciate it, because I don't intend on going anywhere. I don't intend on being quiet. I don't intend on fading back into some sort of a shadowy place where we're not calling this stuff out and only popping out when I want. I'm going to be here every single week. I hope to be here even more than every single week. And we're going to continue this fight, and we're going to continue to call out what we can call out, and we're going to continue to combat what we can combat, and make sure that everybody's as informed as they possibly can be, and that way they can make the best decisions they can possibly make. And that way, again, like I keep saying, you don't want to be surprised. It's past the time of us being surprised by the scumbags that he nominates, by the ridiculous policies that he tries to implement, by the foreign policies that he fucks up every single time without fail. We got to stop being surprised, and we have to be one step ahead of these things, knowing how to combat it, knowing how to already make the moves necessary after these, whatever choice may be, whether it be for our government, whether it be for our economy, whether it be for foreign policy, which inevitably will affect our economy. We have to know how to combat this stuff. It's a scary time. It's because the unknown, it's the fear of the unknown. People like rituals. They like routines. They like knowing what's coming. They like, knowing what to be able to, what they're going to have to react to, and what bag they're going to have to pull from that day. People like having a defined schedule. They don't like being thrown at them at the last second. It kind of, again, puts you on the back foot, and it leaves you, a little bit startled. And sometimes you don't always make the best decision when in the heat of the moment. And I think that's what a lot of us, not so much independent progressive creators like myself, but really the mainstream media has been reacting on their back heels and reacting on the back foot. And when people are in the heat of the moment and don't always make the best decision, you tend to make the situation far worse. And I think that's what they've continued to do for the last 8 years, is just compound and compound and compound bad move after bad move after bad way to cover Donald Trump, after bad journalism, after bad journalistic integrity, just without being able to recognize that they literally have one of the most powerful positions, one of the most impactful positions in being able to combat what Donald Trump says, does, and the policies he tries to enact. And our job here as really small time creators, small time YouTubers, is to try to grow these platforms, to try to grow independent creators channels like mine and Hal's and Tony and Midas Touch and basically anybody, Jesse Dollamore, so many of these great smaller channels, even though they might have several 100,000 subscribers, but you put that against Fox News, or you put that against some of these other huge conglomerates, and it's really you're really swimming upstream, especially somebody with around 8,000 or whatever I have. So that the more influence, the more impact we have, the more we can get our messages out there and really have some sort of, like I said, societal impact on the way that these elections go, the way that our government is run, the way that our policies are implemented, the way that people are thought of and cared for and loved, and made sure that they have a place to stay, and a roof over their heads, and food and water. Right, Logan? Food and water. We know how important food and water is, right? Right. So we want to make sure that these essential things are being taken care of for the most, the people most in need. And in order to be able to do that, we have to put the appropriate people in the positions of power to make the changes. So, that's my little Luke Beasley. Yeah, ton of people. Throw whoever you follow, whoever else you follow, whatever other creators you think need to be boosted up there. Throw them in the chat. Again, this is not a place where we're going to tear down others and not build up our side. That's the whole point, is to make our entire team, our entire side as strong as possible, not just your single individual channel. You know what I mean? You can have the strongest channel on earth, but if you got no teammates to fight around you, you're still going to be left out there on an island by yourself with the sharks swimming around you. So we need to, what does Hal say? A rising tide lifts all boats, right? So the more the tide can lift every single boat in our progressive media sphere, the more that the right-wing atmosphere is going to have trouble combating what we say. And, the more, the mainstream media is going to have to look at people on YouTube and take the audiences from the people on YouTube, such as Midas Touch, Brian Tyler Cohen. They're going to have to start taking these people much more seriously when you start getting up around 10 million subscribers and beyond. You know what I mean? That's when you really start to have an impact. And again, I have no illusions of being that big at any point. I just want to make sure that we continue to grow. This doesn't become stale. This doesn't become something that is, like I said, put in the background, put in the shadows. And we want to make sure that we have an impact in any way, shape, or form that we possibly can. So that's what I am here for. And I appreciate you guys joining me on that excursion, on this trip. I know it's difficult. I know a lot of people are still kind of checked out. And to tell you the truth, I really haven't myself got back into the flow of, news and watching news and following, catching up on the latest in breaking news stuff. It's really still kind of, I'm not even sure where I'm going to get that news in the future, because, so many of the people that we are used to trusting and so many of the channels that we have been programmed to trust have become some of the worst programs and some of the worst broadcasts and some of the worst networks out there. So, it's a new age for us. It's a new age on how to get information out to the people. It's a new age for politicians to realize that there is a new way to get information out to the people. Today, let's see here. Sally. Hi, thank you, Sally, so much. Let's see what you got. Sally says, today is Giving Tuesday in Boston, Brian. Great idea, Colleen. You guys are just unbelievable. We should name that Giving Tuesday, and what we could do is basically, you could give your opinions or give your best creators in the chat, not even necessarily give to my show. Giving Tuesdays is giving to anybody in the chat that may be in need, giving your best opinions and input on who we should be listening to and who could be watching and supporting, as far as, like I said, independent and progressive media. So these are just a few of the things that we can do to not only, like I said, help some of the people in the chat, help our family, help our community, but help the show grow, help our team grow, and help our side grow in this fight. Because obviously we cannot have too many people, right? We all thought that because we have the majority of the people in our country believe the things that we believe and want the things that we want, that we kind of, like I said, had it in the bag. And all we really have to do is just make sure that people know we're putting in candidates that will fulfill those beliefs. Thank you, Arizona Sunflowers, so much. Look at you guys. I really appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. And like I said, yes, continue to throw your favorite creators in the chat. Like I said, if it's not me, fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't imagine or pretend like I'm going to be everybody's favorite. I am definitely one of those people you either love or you don't love. You know what I mean? So I'm like a fine wine. It's like an acquired taste. But yeah, even if you just watch this on, in the background, it's not your favorite, but you enjoy the people in the chat, that type of thing, fine. Your viewership is just as important as everybody else's. Your comments in the chat are just as important as everybody else's, and your contributions to the channel, opinions, and the people that you watch and support, who may be your favorite, throw that in the chat, and that's who people can check out and make their own distinction, make their own opinions on, yes, that is somebody that I like, that is not somebody that I like. And again, we have to get away from, if you hear one thing you disagree with, not supporting that person or not watching that person ever again, because you're never going to get into this. You're never going to get 4 or 5 creators that you agree with on 100% of the topic. So just not going to happen. Don't put yourself in the position where you're trying to find that perfect creator that agrees with 100% of the time, and kind of listen to what they have to say on some of the other aspects, because we all need to learn. We can all learn from each other, and we all need to support each other and at least listen to our arguments, as long as it's being done respectfully, as long as you're not being threatening, you're not there's no violence involved, there's no bigotry, racism, stuff like that. Feel free to disagree with people. That's what the chat is for, and that's why you guys have the ability to be able to type out your thoughts and communicate with one another, because I want this space for that. That's why I want this space. Let's see here. JD, thank you for the 5 gifted, dude. You're the best. Appreciate you. Wes with the Ray Bork. Let's see here. Come on, mouse work. We all have good intentions, right, Colleen and Brian? Giving young progressive a boost up is hopeful. Yes, Wes. Again, not having to do with your comment, but thank you so much for your happy birthday wishes. That video was fantastic and above and beyond anything that I thought would come from West Webb in the chat. To tell you the truth, I was blown away by it. I don't know what I was expecting, but a fantastic pianist and somebody with a great singing voice I was not expecting. So thank you again for that. So I appreciate you, brother. Right. So, what other debauchery can we get into? Should we check out? I don't know if I should check out the videos now. Should we go right into Kash Patel, or let's save it? Let's save it. Let's check out what this guy's been. Let's see if I can share this tab instead. Make sure you guys can see it. I'll do a little bit of this, and here we go. All right. So now we all know what normal people would say. No, everyday, right-minded, on the level, in touch with reality. Adults would say on Thanksgiving message, I'm thankful for this, or if you're a politician or even president, how that message would sound. We've heard it many a time from Joe Biden. We've heard it many a time from actual presidents that care about the country and what they represent. Not so much from Donald Trump. He continued the trend, and I just wanted to share this because maybe there are some people new to this. Maybe people are starting to pay attention now. I don't know how 8 years later you've gone in and not been paying attention, but that's neither here nor there. We're not going to ridicule you for that. If you're involved now, we appreciate your involvement. But just in case you're wondering what type of guy Donald Trump is, you just don't know somehow. You just really haven't been privy to his messages and his Christmas messages, his messages, and how heartfelt they are. But here's just a little taste. Just a little taste. Let me pull this up for you. This is, again, the guy that should be the happiest clam in the ocean at this point. This is what he had to say on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all, including to radical left lunatics who have worked so hard to destroy our country, but who have miserably failed and will always fail because their ideas and policies are hopelessly bad, that the great people of our nation just gave a landslide victory to those who want to make America great again. Now, I say this because I want to continue to combat this theory that he had some landslide victory. Was in no way, shape, or form a landslide victory. Did they get what they wanted? Yes, they very much got what they wanted. But as far as the margin of victory in which they got what they wanted, fucking couldn't have been any closer if you ripped off two of your hairs and slid them in between. Really? You know what I mean? We've gone through this on, I don't know if it was the show before last, but you can go back and check it out where we actually pull up the numbers and we talk about exactly how the numbers finished, how Donald Trump didn't have this overwhelming majority, this mandate that they speak of. But again, this is a message. Our country will be soon respected, productive, fair, and strong, and you will be more than ever before proud to be an American. We were proud, honestly, before Face ever entered American politics. But now, not so much, buddy. But just in case you're wondering, has he changed? Maybe he's a changed man now that he's going to get back. No, he's not. He's still that loser, scumbag, degenerate. Somebody that is definitely going to seek retribution, retaliation. That's what I'm trying to set up here. So when he appoints people like Kash Patel as FBI director in charge of our Federal Bureau of Investigation, considering the stuff not only Donald Trump has said in the past, but Kash Patel himself has said in the past, this kind of, radical left lunatics, again, trying to say that we're trying to destroy the country kind of goes into a bigger part, rolls into a bigger ball of his agenda, and he might try to push forward through Kash Patel. He's going to try to do what Hitler did in the Holocaust. When Hitler found out the T4 euthanasia program that the Nazis, the Germans implemented far before the Holocaust, when he found out that was as unpopular as it was, when the German citizens kind of revolted against what was a program that was basically kidnapping, killing, and doing scientific research experiments on people with mental deficiencies, people with physical abnormalities, people that were gay, people that were basically different in any way. They were removed from German society, taken to any number of hospitals or experimental facilities, basically, and either killed, kept in isolation, or basically, like I said, people along the lines of Joseph Mengele came along and it had their way with them to do experiments and to see why. It's amazing. People still don't understand that our knowledge, most of our knowledge, or some of our knowledge at least, of what the human body can endure, both in terms of elevation, in terms of oxygen deprivation, in terms of temperature, in terms of multitude of different things. That knowledge comes from Japanese experiments on prisoners of war, comes from German experiments on prisoners of war and German citizens. A lot of what we know about the human body can be traced back to these horrific and brutal experiments that took place during World War II. And it just goes to show you the thought process behind some of these people and what it can lead to. I can tell you right now, it didn't start off as in the 20s when Hitler went to these beer cellars, when he was actually supposed to be spying on these people as a member of the army. Still, he's supposed to be going to these places and listening to the dissidents and listening to these factions, what they were saying, and it just so happened he found one that he agreed with. But if he had never first started in those things, these people had they weren't talking about concentration camps. They weren't talking about putting millions of people on trains, but that's what it led to, right? So when we're looking at this and it's like, oh, he hasn't talked about that. And I know he's only talked about camp for, who he deems to be an illegal immigrant, and they won't be concentration camps, so to speak. They won't be worked to death. Don't I wouldn't hold your breath on where this could actually lead, especially because if you think, oh, we're a democratic society and we're civilized, and I got to tell you, so was Germany before all of that shit happened. Anyway, all right. So I just wanted to kind of show you that. Disgusting. And then again, posting mocking videos of Joe Biden here with Chuck Schumer, Miss Biden, and I believe these are the two characters from Vacation there. What's it called? Christmas Vacation. But again, and I just wanted to go back to this is where he announces Charles Kushner, and then this is where he announces Sheriff Chad Chronister for the DEA. Again, people in powerful positions, and this is the one I wanted to read, where he announces Kash Patel. Make sure you can see this. Yes, you can. Back to here. I am proud to announce that Kash Patel. I didn't know he had any involvement in Cash App. I will be doing Venmo only from now on, which again is, I think, up in one of these corners here. That's got to stop over there. That has to stop over there. That's just not going to let me have me focus here. All right. Excuse me. Reset. Trump says, I am proud to announce that Kash Patel, Kash, in quotes, will serve as the next director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Kash is a brilliant lawyer, investigator, and, quote, America First, end quote, fighter who has spent his career exposing corruption, defending justice, and protecting. Why is again, I know this is nitpicking, little fucking things in the grand scheme of things, but why the fuck is justice capitalized in this situation? Again, why? What the fuck who does this? Who types it and thinks, like justice? I think we'll capitalize that one just in case. In protecting the American people, he played a pivotal role in uncovering the Russia hoax, standing as an advocate for truth, accountability, and the Constitution. Kash did an incredible job during my first term, where he served as chief of staff at the Department of Defense, deputy director of national intelligence, and senior director for counterterrorism at the National Security Council. Kash has also tried over 60 jury trials. The FBI will end the growing crime epidemic in America, dismantle the migrant criminal gangs, and stop the evil scourge, Donald, you tell me how to say it, of human and drug trafficking across the border. Kash will work under our great Attorney General Pam Bondi, who we spoke about last week, to bring back fidelity, bravery, integrity to the FBI. So, excuse me. Let's put this together. Now we have Pam Bondi, right, who we spoke about last week, as Attorney General, with Kash Patel now as the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Just think of the power that goes along with that. You know what I mean? Just think of how the separation of powers now, the separation of our branches of government has now been polluted, has now been more corrupted and more swamp-like. It's never been more swamp-like than it is right now, than it could possibly be if Donald Trump gets his way with these picks and nominations. Right? For the president of the United States of America to have direct control, direct access, direct friendship, direct loyalty from all of these people, the Attorney General of the United States, the fucking Defense Secretary of the United States of America, the director of the FBI in the United States, the DOJ. I mean, we're supposed to have separation of powers for a reason. You know what I mean? He is now completely blurring the lines on these, completely destroying any of our precedent we've had up to this point that says these branches of government should remain separate entities. Should in no way collude with one another to conspire to some way get their foreign policy passed or get their policies in the United States passed in an easier way, in an easier route than would normally be had. If we both had our processes in place and people that could actually think by themselves and not only do Donald Trump's bidding in place, right? Let me bring this back up here. What do you guys think? Let me see here. Sorry. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I wrong in thinking that the lines are now being blurred more than ever? Am I wrong to think that this is the swampiest the fucking swamp has ever fucking been? Is it just, if I'm right, is it just us that notice that? How does MAGA not notice that? How can you in one breath say drain the swamp and then in another breath continue to blur the lines and put in people that will only do the president's bidding? I guess that's what we come to expect from people that not only want you to continue counting the votes in one state and in one part of the country, but to stop counting the votes in another state, in another part of the country at this fucking same time, simultaneously. That they don't count, stop counting, but counting the votes doesn't have to make sense. That's what I'm saying to these people. 2 + 2 does not equal 4. And I get stuck into it too, trying to kind of like rack my brain and how, in what way I can go about making 2 + 2 = 4 to these people. And it's just never going to happen, right? So again, all we can do is combat whatever mathematical equations come at us and solve them in the best way that we know how. But yeah, let's see if we can take a look at some of what's his name? Kash Patel has said in the past. Let's go to, there was one where he's on with, here we go. This is a good one. The only place I could find this was on Instagram, so I do apologize. Pardon me as I pull this up for a second. I'm going to share this tab instead. I want to make sure. Instagram is wild. I have never seen a wild shit than Instagram when you first open it up. God bless you. If you're at work, in a church, with friends or family, be friggin' careful. You never know what pops up first on Instagram. Craziness. And yes, it's taking a minute, taking its sweet time. Let me get rid of this. Maybe it'll go a little faster. Here we go. All right, so it is pulling it up. I'm going to share this tab instead. I'm going to make sure you can see it. Add this to the stage. Howdy doody time. Yes, it's playing. And then how do we make it bigger? How do I make it bigger? Anybody? Anybody? Anyways, we'll go back to the beginning.
That has ever called him bogey. I mean, Garland. Think about it. We're going to subpoena Garland.
Now, this is the juicy bit. This is the juicy bit, right? This is where the potential next director of the FBI is threatening acting members of the government with subpoenas and investigations. But right now, what I'm trying to figure out is how I can gain control of this video, because I would really like to start it from the beginning, but I don't know how, because there's no play or button. All right, so let's let it play. Well, it might play more than once, but let's listen to what Kash Patel has to say. I believe this was, I want to say like a year ago, possibly, maybe less than a year ago. He says this on Real America's Voice on with Steve Bannon's War Room.
We're going to put all of them in the hot seat. We're going to go back to Russiagate. We're going to get Rosenstein and all the other gangsters from that era. We're going to get documentation from everything, because under the Constitution, and as a federal public defender, I know this.
So, I mean, clearly a direct threat. Let me see. Can I start it over with this? I cannot even do it. Oh, I can. Here we go. Here we go. From the beginning, maybe. I found control. Here we go. From the beginning. Run it from the top.
President. I can't wait for this trial to come, because the subpoena list that Donald Trump should execute in this proceedings is going to be monumental. I want to.
Yeah, somebody just commented on his voice. I don't know how he does have one of those like ear piercing voices that just somehow manages to annoy you, even if he's saying shit you agree with, which has never happened. He just got one of those like, I'm a rat fuck who has been picked on and bullied his entire life. I've had some success. I'm smart. I want people to realize I'm smart, and you know, because people haven't realized up until now, I am really gonna stick it to the man. Is basically the voice that I get from Kash Patel. But him, this is the potential next director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, as you hear Bowie, my buddy, my mascot, go by, talking about threatening acting members of the government. Okay, just in case you're wondering what we're watching, why we're watching this. This is Kash Patel, potential next director of the FBI, threatening members of the government. So here we go.
To subpoena every government gangster that has ever called him out bogusly. I mean, Garland. Think about it. We're going to subpoena.
Listen, did you hear what he said? Let me go back. What he said. He said, not that anybody has committed a crime, not anybody he thinks has committed a crime. Anybody that has called Donald Trump out publicly, I believe is what he says.
Monumental. I wanted to subpoena every government gangster that has ever called him out bogusly.
Every government gangster that has ever called him out bogusly. So not that has committed a crime. Again, not that has potentially committed a crime. Not that we think, an investigation might discover they have committed a crime. Not somebody that we have on video or that we have documentation, evidence of committing a crime. People that have merely called out Donald Trump for his previous criminal acts. Like, think of how fucking backwards that is. Calling out Donald Trump for his sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. Calling out Donald Trump for stealing top secret classified documents and hiding them in their fucking bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. Calling Donald Trump out for any one of his racist policies. Calling out for the Muslim ban. Calling him out for his ridiculous policies in Israel that went on to create this fucking situation that we have going on right now. His ridiculous policy that comes to Ukraine. When he tried to blackmail Ukraine and Volodymyr Zelensky with weapons. If you used to just come out with an investigation haphazardly out of fucking thin air for Joe Biden. We never talked about, we don't criticize him again for having Mike Flynn, who had direct communications with Russia before they even took fucking office, and then directly lied to the FBI, directly lied to the president of the United States, or the president-elect at the time. I forget which one it was. It's all about, right, Benghazi. Right, fucking exactly. Talk about Benghazi more. You know what I mean? We're not going to talk about that. It's a fucking crime if you call them out for that. We're going to punish you and subpoena you and investigate you if you call them out for that. But let's not talk about all the fucking crimes that actually have been adjudicated. The 34-time fucking felon. His communications with Vladimir Putin that he's had since he fucking left office. There's a million fucking things that we could talk about, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the people that decided to call that shit out. Which, I don't know if you know this, but that includes you and me. That includes both you and I, to a certain extent. I'm sure I'm not the fucking first person they're gonna come after, but if they put this, wide sweeping ban on progressive content on YouTube, we think of YouTube as this fucking bastion that we have. We thought of Twitter the same way at one point, and that's fucking gone. That's burned to the fucking ground. That's burned to a fucking crisp, right? That's gone. We don't have it anymore. So fucking who knows what amount of money would be able to buy YouTube. So don't think for a second that because, you only have 1,000 subscribers, bro, you kind of fly under the radar that you're fucking safe. Or if you have a channel with less subscribers or around the same amount or more, 60,000, 80,000, 100,000, don't think that you're not on the fucking chopping block either. Because if these motherfuckers have their way, they'll shut down every single one of our progressive fucking voices in a heartbeat. And this place would be filled with fucking Steve Bannon, with Ben Shapiro, with fucking, Tenet Media and the fucking Russian tentacles flowing through that bullshit. That's what the fuck YouTube will be. If you don't step, hi, buddy. Hi, dude. Hi, buddy. I don't know if you can see him. You want to step up? Can you see? This is Bo. Bo, you just want to say hi. Come here. Come here. I think you heard me yelling. Careful. Don't step on the cord, bud. Don't step on the cord. Go ahead. Go ahead. You just coming to hang out? Why do you have to hang on the side with the cords? Do you want to see it? Over here, he's got no cords. You want to hang out? Okay. Okay. Bowie says hi. He's just a little, you see, I don't want to move the camera. No, I'll never get it back in frame, but he's right here. I promise. He's right here. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Hold on. Maybe I can move the mic. You can hear it breathing. Hold on. Oh, of course it moves. Dogs always know when you're trying to do something, when you're trying to take a picture, a video, show somebody something. He just moves. All right. Oh, does he have to go outside? No, he just wants to look. Anyways, yeah. So you get the gist of what I'm saying. You get the point. It's just it's undemocratic. It's something that you should be investigated for. If you call out what is obvious crimes, what have already been adjudicated cases, right? It's not like we're just pulling evidence out of air. These cases have been adjudicated in the court of law. He has been found to have raped E. Jean Carroll by a court of law. Phonetically in the state of New York, the judge has come out. I don't know how many friggin' times I have to pull this up. I will do it. I will do it. Hopefully not. Ready? So just, people always say, oh, no, he wasn't. He didn't do this. He never did that. He did. Oh, no, that wasn't rape. It was a civil. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Show him this. This is what you got to show him here. Let me say, share this tab instead. Let me go back. Do a little bit of this so you can see it. Judge clarifies. So the judge in the case, not just a random judge, not Judge Janine Pirro, not Judge Box of Wino, not any ridiculous judge, not Judge Joe Brown, none of them. A real judge. The judge in the case clarifies, yes, Trump was found to have raped E. Jean Carroll, the incoming president, the president-elect of the United States of America. Yes, did in fact rape E. Jean Carroll, right? That's him. I'm pretty sure that's a picture of a scumbag, and I'm pretty sure you can match it up to the scumbag about to take office in January. So in case anybody still wants to come out with the bullshit saying, no, civil case, blah, 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 blah. No. Our incoming administration is going to be led by somebody that has been adjudicated to be a rapist. Okay? So that is fact, period, point blank, end of story. Nothing we can discuss on that one. So let me see. I'll go back to this one. Let me share this tab instead, and we'll continue with this douche knuckle.
I mean, Garland. Think about it. We're going to subpoena Garland, Ray. We're going to put.
And again, thank you, Merrick. I appreciate it. Your services of delaying Donald Trump's what should have been inevitable accountability and justice has gotten you not only Donald Trump's second fucking term, second incoming administration, but has also gotten you the ability, gotten you the the privilege to be investigated, to be fucking, to have the full power of the United States government that you now work for turned against you, all because you were too feckless in the beginning and you wanted to give Donald Trump too many chances, and you wanted to fucking cross your T's and dot your I's, which I don't even blame you on that one. I really don't, because I know if you're going after somebody of that stature that held that position, you want to make sure everything is correct. Again, too many fucking instances in which Donald Trump was afforded more fucking comfort, more time, more a leeway than any other citizen on the fucking planet that would have been afforded. And there are many instances that you can pull up to justify that. And this is what the fuck Merrick gets.
All of them in the hot seat. We're going to go back to Russiagate. We're going to get Rosenstein and all the other gangsters from that era.
Rod Rosenstein. I bet you thought you were on a fucking. I bet you thought you were in the clear, right? When's the last time you heard Rod Rosenstein? I haven't heard that name in fucking years, right? Bet you he hasn't thought about this shit in I don't know how long. Guess what, Rod? You're back in play, brother. You're back in play. These people don't give a shit about the rules, regulations. They don't give a shit. They think they have full power and full control of the United States government, and they plan on using that fucking power to go after the people that they find or found or thought were screwing up the works, right, in their first administration. People that leaked information, people that were reporting on information they didn't want reported on. From the words, from the lips of the fucking scumbag Trump is putting in place right here. Don't take my word for it.
We're going to get documentation from everything, because under the Constitution, and as a federal public defender, I know this, you are entitled not just to the discovery the government gives you, but every piece of information the government possesses and every witness they have to stand up.
The problem is now these people too actually have a brain cell or two to rub together. Don't get me wrong. Their belief systems, their sycophancy, their willingness to kiss ass and suck up to people like Donald Trump just for positions of power definitely says a lot about them. But there's no denying that some of the people that Donald Trump is planning on putting in positions of power are a lot fucking smarter than Donald Trump, are a lot fucking smarter than the people that Trump first surrounded himself with. Right? They're a lot more fucking capable. They're a lot more dangerous, but they're a lot more capable. They're a lot more dangerous because they're a lot more capable. Right? So don't take it for granted. Don't fucking don't hold it past these people. Don't short sight them. Don't underestimate these people on what they could actually do. I mean, again, as a public defender, somebody that's tried cases before, he has at least a baseline knowledge of how he were to go about doing these things he's saying, right? And if Donald Trump has enough people in power in these things, enough people that aren't going to say no to shit like this, he's going to be able to get it through.
Your defense, that's due process. And so the deluge of subpoenas that is going to come out, you're right, it's going to boomerang. These people bit way more than they can chew, and
bit off more than they could chew, but again, nitpicking.
I can't wait to see the list of people that come in the crosshairs from the defense perspective. And I hope the defense team for Donald Trump listens and puts it out there. And
again, he's talking about a specific case here, but when you have potentially the next director of the FBI to take over for Christopher Wray, who was nominated and appointed by Donald Trump, you have to figure out why, right? You have to ask yourself why, if he already has somebody that he appointed in that position. And I believe Christopher Wray I don't believe his term is up, right? I think he has, as FBI director, let's see here. If you know in the chat, let me know, but I'm gonna look it up real quick. Christopher Wray, let's see, term. I do believe, yeah. How long is the FBI director's term? Let's see. FBI director appointed Senate for a term not exceeded 10 years. President and confirmed by the Senate for a term not to exceed 10 years, right? So how long has he been in there? So I think he has several more years at least he's got in there. So you have to ask yourself why Donald Trump would be replacing him. Because Christopher Wray has been a thorn in Donald Trump's side. He won't do the bidding as Donald Trump wants him to, right? He knows Kash Patel will do that bidding. It's just little things that you have to realize on, why is he replacing somebody that he already has put in power before? Like, why spend the time and the energy on that? Because you can get more from Kash Patel than you ever could get from Christopher Wray. And now that he's seen that in hindsight, he's going to make this switch, which is exactly what the fuck he wants to do. Now, let's get this out of here. I think, was that it? I think there's one more. Let me see here. I also wanted to check this out. Let me come back here, make myself a little bigger so you can say, hi, guys. I appreciate you joining me. This is Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. I appreciate you guys very, very much joining me on this wonderful Sunday after Thanksgiving. Again, I hope you have a wonderful time with your friends and family and loved ones. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share it out to whoever you possibly can. If you do so, I would really, really appreciate it. And thank you to the 20 people that have already gifted, hit their milestones and memberships, gave a super chat or a super sticker. You guys are fantastic. And again, the reason that this channel keeps running. And again, there's Venmo in the corner. You can take a picture of it with your phone. If you want to send $1, $1.50, that'll be $1.25, sweetheart. For you, sweetheart, that'll be $1.25, governor. I bet you if anybody can tell me what that's from, you'll get points in my book. For some reason, I think Chirpy is going to be the first person to get what that's from. For you, sweetheart, that'll be $1.25. Oh, come on. Huh? Yeah, no. All right, so let's go to this next one. Somebody got it already. Yeah. There's a few of them. Actually, it sounds like a Jerky Boys one, and then it sounds like The Simpsons had a take on it. There's been multiple ones, but no, I didn't. All right, there. My bad. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. All right, so this is another one I wanted to look at here. Let's see here. There we go here. Let me open this here. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to share this tab instead. Make sure you guys can see it. All right, so this is Kash Patel. I believe I want to say, let me see here. I think it's, what is it?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry.
I said cash me outside.
Cash me outside.
Yeah.
No, thanks. I want to say this is the 2024 CPAC. Yes, this is 2024 CPAC. So this is posted 9 months ago. But again, gives a good insight, gives us a very good insight into Kash Patel's mindset. And again, some of the things he may possibly implement, some of the things we have to watch out for, some of the things we definitely have to watch out for, some of the red flags. Pretty much everything he says is a red flag. So this is, again, Kash Patel, Trump's nominee to be FBI director, 2024 CPAC Day 2. Let's see what he had to say, and let's call it out. I appreciate you guys joining me. Again, hit the like button. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. Let's get after it.
How's it going? Thank you. So I thought it would be fun to go on a manhunt of government gangsters together. And I'm so...
Right off the bat, language used, Brian. Check out the language used. What you want to do is listen to the language used. So what's he say? He wants to go on a manhunt for government gangsters. In case you missed it, one more time.
Thank you. So I thought it would be fun to go on a manhunt of government gangsters together. And I'm so proud to be at CPAC with so many great Americans who represent Donald Trump's army.
Donald Trump's army, right? So we're going to go on a manhunt for government gangsters using Donald Trump's army. Are we seeing a theme here? Anybody seeing a theme? Why is this so high? All right, so I'm going to do this. Maybe we can catch Bowie going back and forth. How's it? You can see me now? No, you can still see. All right, that's cool. Maybe you'll see him next time he comes tracing by here. But yeah, so the theme. So basically, this guy is talking about setting up a war, going to war with the United States government, anybody in the United States government that he doesn't like, anybody that Donald Trump's deemed to be a threat, anybody that he deems to have called him out in the past, any of the media. We've already heard him talk about going after media corporations and media stations. Again, I'm trying to get this out into the zeitgeist so everybody understands, everybody knows the people that Donald Trump is trying to prop up into positions of power and the things that they are absolutely capable of if they get there.
to take this country back. And that's what it's going to take, an entire army. And we all have a job to do. We have the benefit. We're blessed by God to have Donald Trump be our juggernaut of justice, to be our leader, to be our continued warrior in the arena.
Again, sycophancy, just pure and utter sycophancy to their dear leader, Donald Trump, talking about how he's their God, basically, how he's their savior, their Lord and Savior, and the reason that they are able to be in this fight, the reason that America will be great again, the only reason, right? It's not the people in the movement that make the movement, they think. It's Donald Trump that makes the movement, and the people just follow him. Right. Whereas if a movement was really strong and the people in the movement were really strong, the leader, so much does not matter. The people would then be able to congregate, would be able to regroup, right, and to continue their beliefs, to continue their policies, and elect new leaders. It should not destroy a movement to have their fascist and authoritarian leader basically not be anywhere near the hands of power. They should still be able to function without that, but they can't. They are not, again, a group of people with ideas. They are a group of people following one man's ideas, basically.
But we have to fill that arena with Americans behind him who are going to take the fight to the mainstream media, who are going to take the fight to the
Correct. Who said that? Somebody said performative. Bob, it is absolutely performative. Who knows? And again, we still don't know which one of these people actually believe the things that they are espousing and the things that they know they have to say in order to stay close to Donald Trump's hip, in order to stay close to power, in order to mooch off the people, in order to grift off the people, right? We know there's a ton of people in Donald Trump's orbit, in Donald Trump's atmosphere, that don't believe his bullshit, that know he's a con man, that know he's a fraudster, but they also know that it somehow works for him, right? And that somehow, to date, he has been unprosecutable, right? That he has gotten away with his actions and his words and his crimes. And they see the luxury, the lap of luxury that he supposedly lives in. Right. And they will do and say and act out anything they possibly can to remain close to that power, to remain close to that money and that privilege. Right. They were called careerists in World War II and in the German military and in the German government. Careerists, people that had no real beliefs or morals, but would do anything just to stay close to the hands of power, stay close to Hitler, stay close to Goering, stay close to any of the top ranks in the SS. May not have believed any of the shit that they were espousing, didn't give a shit about anything that was going on, but they knew if they weren't next to power, they were going to struggle. Nobody wants to struggle, so therefore you will probably do whatever you possibly can to stay near the hands of power. So again, we don't know who are these actors, and there's a lot of them out there that are just acting this shit, and that again know Donald Trump's real IQ.
Bureaucracy that controls the swamp, who are going to take the fight to the national defense industry that has monopolized war and sent our sons and daughters to die for other people's fights. We are going to put an end to that behind Donald Trump, and we are going to do it together.
I really have to ask, whose sons and daughters are dying right now? Because it's not the United States military, again, which is what he'd lead you to believe, which he wants you to believe, again, what he's trying to get this crowd to believe. He says, listen to what he says.
War and sent our sons and daughters to die for other people's fights. We are going to put an end to that behind.
Again, they're talking about putting an end, and this is the same thing I've been saying Donald Trump as his plan is to do all along, right? He literally doesn't have to lift a finger. He's been talking about how bad the economy is, even though it's not bad. He can come right in without making a change to anything and automatically say that the economy is doing better, right? And his people will believe that. His press will push it. Several aspects, right? In which he's going to come in and nothing has to be done. The crime, he talks about crime, defeating crime and the rampant crime. Crime is down in the United States, like on a scale that is almost unmeasurable since the 90s, right? We've had spikes in certain areas, spikes during the pandemic, but on the whole, crime is down. So when Donald Trump tells you, and all these people are telling you all this crime, fucking crime everywhere. You can't leave your door without getting stabbed in the face. Good luck trying to play around in golf without getting shot. You know, it's like he wants you to believe all these things. And then he doesn't have to change a thing and all of a sudden say that he's put these correct people in place in the FBI and the DOJ and crime is down, right? And then all of a sudden people will be looking at the numbers that right now say crime is down and they'll give the credit to Donald Trump. He doesn't have to do anything in that aspect, right? So many different drilling where we're now producing more energy than we ever have before as a country, right? Donald Trump's drill bullshit. He can come right in, even though there's almost 9,000 open leases for these companies to be drilling on that they aren't. He's going to come right in and talk about how it was his policies that are now creating the energy boom in the United States. Doesn't have to lift a finger. All he has to do is change the words in his fucking speech. That's it. That's it. Pretty much the same thing he did when he took over Barack Obama's economy that had almost 50 something months, 50 straight months of growth.
Behind Donald Trump. And we are going to do it together. What I want to talk about is you guys have been so kind to make Government Gangsters, my book, a bestseller. I thought there would be no better place than to announce what you...
The guy literally has a book titled Government Gangsters. What are we doing?
You just saw, which is a joint venture with Steve Bannon and War Room Entertainment.
That's what we need. That's exactly what we need. Somebody with a close ties and close affiliation. Steve Bannon in charge of the FBI. Lord help us.
To launch conservative films back into the ecosystem. So Government Gangsters, the movie, is the first one, and it's coming out.
Gee, I wonder if Kash Patel, as director of the FBI, will somehow use his power and influence to push not only his movie, his book, Steve Bannon's bullshit, his podcast, his books, whatever movie he comes out with, Ben Shapiro's bullshit podcast, his books, his movies, right? I wonder if he's going to use his power to suppress, people left-leaning podcasts or live streams or any movies come out from the left. You don't think he's going to use his power and influence to do these things? Sadly mistaken. You are sadly fucking mistaken. So we have to literally work as hard as we possibly can to make sure we are in as many places, that we get out the word to as many places as we possibly can. So it's almost like whack-a-mole for them. You know what I mean? They fucking whack us in one place, we'll pop up in a fucking other. They want to fucking whack us in that, we'll pop up in 2 fucking other places, right? Let's make it impossible for these motherfuckers to shut us up. I'm not going to shut up. I know that for a fucking fact. I don't give a shit who's watching. I don't give a shit how many people are watching. I will be right here calling out this bullshit from this bastard, from the bastard that fucking hired him, and the rest of the people in this fucking administration. So thank you to the 624 people that are currently watching on this beautiful Sunday. I appreciate you immensely. Make sure you hit that like button. Thank you.
Out in the spring, just in a couple of months here. So we're very excited about that. But here's the thing. 8 years ago, the deep state was real. When Donald Trump came down the escalator in 2015.
There we go. Another deep state believing moron with his hands on some of the most powerful fucking, on one of the most powerful agencies in our fucking country. Right? So we've gone from this deep state bullshit being on fucking fringe websites and QAnon bullshit, Marjorie Taylor Greene's fucking gross ass lips, to now the deep state is literally the hands of power in the next administration.
15 in Trump Tower, the deep state was already moving at 100 miles an hour. But the deep state, projected on us that we were the neocons, we were the conspiracy theorists because we dared to call them the deep state.
Wrong.
And when we fast forward 8 years later, they have multiplied. They have put their army on.
I now have an answer to the question that is in this drop, right? I now have an answer to this
How
question.
do you lie to the FBI and now you're running for president? Seriously, how do you lie to the FBI and now you're running for president?
Easy. You just install people that will do your bidding, install the most sycophantic fucking pieces of shit that you have in your orbit to lead the FBI. It's fucking simple. Fucking simple. Doesn't matter what you fucking do in the past. if you win an election and you can appoint people to the fucking most powerful, positions and hands of power in our government, what the fuck does it matter? It doesn't matter if you lie to the FBI. Doesn't fucking matter. You'll either be pardoned by this asshole or be pardoned and then given a fucking job in said administration. So, again, fucking the amount of corruption, the amount of blurring of the lines between our departments, between our branches of government, adding to the swamp, adding sharks, crocodiles, fucking alligators, he is just literally backing up a dump truck full of fucking swamp creatures and has dumped that into what was a pristine fucking lake before that. Right? It's sometimes you got to take a step back, right? And you have to realize the places, like I said, that you can make a difference. But every once in a while, it just fucking smacks you in the face. Just the stunning amount, the ridiculous amount of shit that we're gonna have to combat and call out and fucking swat away and have our head in a swivel 365 days a year, 24 hours a fucking day, 7 days a week from this next administration. It's a bit overwhelming. It is at some point. So, if you ever find yourself in that position, just take a deep breath, maybe check out, watch a movie, something like that, something that doesn't have to do with politics. And then when you feel better, we'll hop back into it,
On the ground, in government agencies and departments, from the DOD to the FBI to the DOJ. They have weaponized justice. They have politicized the intelligence community. They have seized our Department of Defense from the men and women who have the audacity to serve and wear the cloth of this country, and they have tarnished.
What the fuck is he wearing? First off, what the fuck is going on here? It literally says his name. I mean, how douchey can you possibly fucking get? Oh, my Lanta. No wonder fucking Trump likes this asshole.
Their reputations. And they have led to disasters in Afghanistan, in Ukraine, in Israel, and elsewhere. But
right, so it's us. It's our fault. It's the deep state's fault. You know what I mean? It's not the fact that Donald Trump decided to move the embassy, decided to do the Golan Heights, the Abraham Accords, which again ultimately led to the situation that we now see in Gaza, per the statements of the people basically responsible for the acts on October 7th. But again, how we are allowing these people to somehow turn it around on us when now the people that say Ukraine is the default of the United States are going to be the hands of power like this. Let me change this. Okay, so I'm done with you, asshole. I'm done with Kash Patel. I'm done with this guy. But yeah, so he talks about Ukraine being our fault. Nope, let me stop this. I apologize. Hopefully that's not playing. And then we got this. So this is the guy that Donald Trump has now appointed or, nominated or whatever to become the special envoy to Ukraine, right? The gentleman that he has put in charge, and basically not Donald Trump is going to sit Vladimir Putin down or Volodymyr Zelensky down like he originally said he was going to do within 24 hours of being elected. That obviously has not happened, cannot happen. We called it. We knew it wasn't going to happen. It was fucking impossible from the time it left his fucking ridiculously tiny lips. But now he's got Keith Kellogg, who has had ties to both Mike Pence and the Trump administration in the first term, has both defended Donald Trump in situations and has said, has come out against Donald Trump in certain situations. So this seems to be a little bit of a strange pick for Donald Trump, but if we kind of dig deep into it and we figure out, we listen to the plans that he's already come out with as far as Ukraine and Russia goes, it'll all make a little bit more sense. So this is just, let's get to know a little bit more about Keith Kellogg. Don't need to know where he was born. He was so he's a retired lieutenant general of the United States Army, previously served as national security advisor to Mike Pence and as the executive secretary and chief of staff of the United States National Security Council in the first Trump administration. He served as the National Security Advisor on an acting basis following the resignation of Michael Flynn in November 2024. President-elect Trump selected Kellogg to be his special envoy for Ukraine and Russia. Don't really care where he was born or any about this shit. I just want to see Kellogg was named a foreign policy advisor to then presidential candidate Donald Trump in March 2016. Trump put Kellogg in charge of the Presidential Transition Agency. Let me see if you can see this. Sorry. Nope, you can't, which I knew you wouldn't be able to. Let me just make it so you can see it. Share this tab instead. We'll go here. Thank God I thought of that. There we go. Sorry about that. I am right here. Oops, sorry. Yeah, right here. Stop it. Right here. Here we go. All right. So Kellogg was named foreign policy advisor, then presidential candidate Donald Trump in 2016. Trump put Kellogg in charge of the Presidential Transition Agency Action Team for Defense. On December 15, 2016, it was announced that Kellogg would be appointed Chief of Staff and Executive Secretary of the United States National Security Council by President-elect Donald Trump on February 13, 2017. Following the resignation of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, Keith Kellogg became the acting National Security Advisor in the interim of a permanent replacement being appointed. H.R. McMaster was eventually appointed. In 2018, Vice President Mike Pence chose Kellogg to serve as a national security advisor. According to the White House, Kellogg would continue to serve as an assistant to Trump. During the Trump-Ukraine scandal, which led to Trump's impeachment and subsequent acquittal, Kellogg said that he heard nothing wrong or improper in Trump's call with the Ukrainian president, which again, might be the first instance in which Donald Trump might be, again, rewarding Keith Kellogg for something, right? This is the first instance in which we see, as far as my knowledge, to my knowledge, Keith Kellogg pretty much sticking up for Donald Trump, where we know other people listening to the call definitely heard differently, definitely thought different things were going on from Donald Trump's words and actions in that phone call, which he was trying to blackmail Vladimir Zelensky, as I talked about earlier, into coming up or announcing some sort of fake investigation into Joe Biden or the Biden family. And Donald Trump would basically, and Rudy Giuliani would basically take care of the rest like it was some fucking sandlot. And all Volodymyr Zelensky had to do was stick up his glove, and fucking Benny the Jet would do the rest, right? He'd hit the ball right into the glove. But during the scandal, he said that he heard nothing improper and nothing wrong in Trump's call with the Ukrainian president. Kellogg spoke at the 2020 Republican National Convention on August 6th, 2020. Let's see here. During the Capitol attack, again, this is another involvement where Kellogg's name pops up. In the 2021 United States Capitol attack, Kellogg defended Pence's decision not to leave the Capitol, while the Secret Service was attempting to get Pence to ride to a safer place. Pence insisted on staying. Kellogg reportedly told Anthony Ornato, former Secret Service at the time, White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations, why Pence would not be evacuated. Quote, "You can't do that, Tony. Leave him where he's at. He's got a job to do. I know you guys too well. You'll fly him to Alaska if you have the chance. Don't do it." End quote. Kellogg made it clear that Pence would stay even if he needed to remain all night. Kellogg is viewed as a, quote, key witness in the United States House Select Committee on January 6th attack because he was with Trump in the White House as the attack occurred. Kellogg testified under oath to the committee that in December 2021, here I am right here, just in case you guys are wondering, 2021, telling them that the president's staff encouraged the president to take immediate action to quell the unrest, but that he refused. So he's testifying that he saw and was present as Donald Trump's administration, Donald Trump's staff, basically were talking to him, hey, Donald, you got to fucking do something, make an announcement, tell him to go home, tell him to stop, this is too much, this is crazy, what's going on? And Kellogg sat there as Donald Trump basically said, fuck off, you're right? Probably not even in so many words. Probably didn't even respond. Just sat there watching it on TV for several hours. In 2024, Kellogg and Fred Fleitz, who both served in Trump's National Security Council staff, presented Trump with a detailed peace plan to end Russia's war in Ukraine. Again, another reason here, what we're talking about, why he was picked for this. And the plan proposes a ceasefire on the current front lines, forcing both Russia and Ukraine into peace talks, right? So we're right here. This is where we are. So the plan proposes ceasefire on the current front lines, forcing both Russia and Ukraine into peace talks and continued arms supplies to Ukraine if it agrees to a ceasefire and peace talks, right? So we'll continue to send them arms if they promise not to use them, right? So tell me where that makes sense. We'll let you. I guess it would be an ability to stockpile, but then why don't we just increase the arms sales, increase the ammunition sales to Ukraine in the first place without doing anything? Makes absolutely no sense to me. He also says if Russia did not agree to a ceasefire and peace talks, the United States would increase arms supplies to Ukraine. Again, this is, I think, their little red herring they're putting in there, the little piece of bait that they're putting in there. It sounds great if Russia doesn't do what we want them to do. We'll increase or continue our arms, supplies to Ukraine. But what is it that Russia has to agree to, right? Like, what is it in the background that if Russia is going to agree to peace talks that it already knows is going to be favorable to them, right? Then it doesn't give them any incentive to say no, right? They're obviously going to enter into those peace talks if they know they're going to get everything that they want. Makes absolutely no sense in that regard either. But the United States would increase their supplies to Ukraine. Ukraine would not have to formally cede the occupied and annexed territories to Russia, but would postpone its plans for NATO membership for a longer period of time, and the territories currently under Russian occupation would remain under de facto Russian control. Right? So basically his little peace offering that he's giving is that it wouldn't have to formally cede the territory to Russia. So this territory wouldn't formally become Russian territory. But every square inch of territory of Ukraine that Russia now holds or occupies would then become a de facto Russian state or under de facto Russian control, right? So basically no difference in the two besides just an official recognition, official, calling it an official part of Russia or not. It's still going to have the laws Russia has. It's still going to have the brutal fucking tactics that Vladimir Putin and his police state uses. It's not going to be a Ukrainian land. Ukrainian people won't be able to probably speak their language. They won't be able to carry out any of the traditions, specifically Ukrainian. All right, so this is their plan that they're putting in place that they want. They first had that demilitarized zone that they wanted. They wanted a certain amount of area that was demilitarized, and they wanted to be patrolled by, fucking soldiers that were, didn't have a stake in either side. Basically having a North and South Korea situation all over again, right? Just, again, the ridiculous plans that they put forward. And again, obviously Donald Trump loved this plan when Kellogg presented it to him in June 2024. Loved it so much that he's now becoming the special envoy to Ukraine and thinks that he can get this done. In November 2024, President-elect said Kellogg to be a special envoy to Ukraine and Russia. So that's just a little bit about Keith Kellogg and just a little bit about why Donald Trump would or is picking him to be a special envoy. Right? Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But yeah, so let's also take a look at, there's this that I wanted to take a look at. How you doing, guys? I appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe, share it out to your friends and family. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. We're here every Sunday. I do appreciate you guys. Let's see here. This is also, I know I had one that I sent to me. Oh, here we go. Let's see what this one is. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Here's a Guardian article. Let me see if I can put that up on the screen for you. I sure can. This is The Guardian says Trump's Ukraine envoy pick proposed. Trump's Ukraine envoy pick proposed. Ukraine's envoy pick. Wow. Couldn't have made that any more of a fucking tongue twister there, The Guardian. The fuck was that all? I think I just had an aneurysm. Trump's Ukraine envoy pick proposed forcing peace talks by withdrawing U.S. weapons, right? So in a co-authored document presented to Trump in April, Keith Kellogg also said the U.S. would give Ukraine more weapons if Russia doesn't join negotiations. But again, Russia would have no reason not to join negotiations if they're going to get everything they fucking want in every bit of territory they now hold in Ukraine. Why would they not? They could stop losing soldiers and basically just get what they want, get what they have now, and fucking call it a win. And Vladimir Putin, who knows, may even get to keep his fucking top spot. without being overthrown. Donald Trump's plan to tap the retired U.S. Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg as U.S. envoy to Ukraine and Russia has triggered renewed interest in a policy document he co-authored that proposes ending the war by withdrawing weapons from Ukraine if it doesn't enter peace talks and giving even more weapons to Ukraine if Russia doesn't do the same. Trump is said to have responded favorably to the plan, America First, Russia and Ukraine, which is presented to him. I think if I click on this, it takes us right to the actual plan. See if that works. Yes, here we go. So this is Center for American Security, American First, Russia and Ukraine, Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, Fred Flights, April 11th, 2024. This is the actual plan, probably not the one that was given to Donald Trump, because it has way too many words. Let's just read the overview. See what the overview is in this plan. The war in Ukraine is an avoidable tragedy result from President Biden's incompetence as a world leader and his chaotic foreign policy. Right off the fucking bat. Now, you can tell, and if you do, you can tell why Donald Trump wrote like this, right? You can tell that first sentence in this fucking plan was specifically put in there to catch the attention of Donald Trump, right? It's anybody with any sense, anybody with any military knowledge, any knowledge of foreign policy, any knowledge of the situation in the war, in the long struggles between Ukraine and Russia, knows that this did not start because of fucking Joe Biden, right? As many problems that I've had with Joe Biden and continue to have with Joe Biden, this fucking war was not Joe Biden's fault. This did not start because of Joe Biden. This was not a thing because of Joe Biden. This the ideas and thoughts of Vladimir Putin to take over his neighboring country, a sovereign nation, for materiel and provenance is not anything to do with Joe Biden. So again, that first line was specifically put in there to catch the eye of Donald Trump. Didn't have to go any further. I already know what the rest of this is going to look and sound like, and it's not going to be based in reality. I can tell you that much. So let's see. The war has divided Americans and the conservative movement over what America's involvement in this conflict should be and how the Ukrainian war affects European and global stability. The Ukraine war is an exceptionally complex foreign policy question for the United States. Wait a minute. I thought it was very, very fucking simple, though. Right? I thought this was a simple. I thought this had a very simple solution to this problem. Right? I don't know why, Donald Trump continues to come out and say that it doesn't take a genius. Right? You don't have to be a genius to end this war. We just have stupid and incompetent people in charge, and that's the only reason that this happened. But anybody with two brain cells to rub together could literally have this war done in 24 hours after being elected. But all of a sudden now it's this complicated, complex issue. That that we have to be delicate and we have to have real expectations on what we can actually accomplish. Like all that bullshit has already started here, right? So all of a sudden it turned to a complex issue. Well, this complex issue has always been a fucking complex issue, but Donald Trump has been giving you a super simple fucking solution to this complex problem. What happened to that super simple fucking solution? Again, red flag, always a red flag when you hear a really simple fucking solution to an incredibly complex issue, whether it be geopolitical, whether it be inside the United States, whether it be at a job, no matter what it is. If it's a complex issue, chances are that fucking super simple answer is just not going to be the one that is going to help you get out of that situation, right? So advocates of aggressive U.S. support, including some who call for direct U.S. military involvement, view the war as a significant threat to American, European, and international security. They claim that without robust and limitless American military aid to Ukraine, Russia will move after conquering Ukraine to rebuild the former Soviet Union and invade other countries, including NATO members. Some of these advocates claim that a Russian victory in Ukraine would undermine democracy and security in other areas of the world and could encourage China to invade Taiwan. Those who hold this view, especially President Biden, have strongly criticized as pro-Russia, pro-Putin, anti-democracy, and isolationist anyone who has opposed or even expressed skepticism about American military aid to Ukraine. No. That's not the case. What we call isolationists, the people that literally have isolationist policies that say we don't want to help anybody but the United States, right? That we just shelter ourselves in place, basically. We create a fucking iron dome over the United States, as Donald Trump has proposed. And we literally don't send money anywhere. We don't help anybody until every issue that we see in the United States is somehow fixed, which, again, is an impossibility, which will never happen, which means in the long run, we will never end up helping any other countries because we will be continuously trying to fight and solve problems in our country that are just things you're not going to be able to solve just throwing money at, right? Your policy of not helping people that are being bombed on a daily basis, people that we signed documents and treaties in agreements with to get rid of their nuclear weapons. So in trade for defense, if Russia were to ever do the exact same thing that it's doing right the fuck now, right? So that's the reason that we call you pro-Russia. Tulsi Gabbard's propaganda spreading, Russian propaganda spreading bullshit. That's pro-Russia. Donald Trump telling us that he's talked to Vladimir Putin several times since the election, but again has made no mention of trying to stop or end this war in any significant way, shape, or form. Talking about how our national security teams and our what is it called? Our intelligence officers were wrong and that we should listen to Vladimir Putin when he said he had no involvement in the 2016 election, right? Even though our intelligence agencies are telling us that they absolutely did, he's going to believe Vladimir Putin because he said it, right? That's pro-Russian. That's anti-democratic. When you praise Vladimir Putin as being brilliant and a genius for doing what he's doing by taking over a sovereign nation, trying to invade a sovereign nation, murdering civilians day by day. When you say that's smart, when you talk about how he's a genius for doing what he's doing, that's pro-Russian. It's anti-democratic when you win an election, it's fair, but when you lose an election, it's not fair. That's anti-democracy. So you guys hold every single one of these positions that you are now crying about being called. So there are the examples for every single one of those. That's why. Although some U.S. critics of military aid to Volodymyr Zelensky's government might indeed be isolationists, they are. The vast majority are Americans worried about whether America's vital strategic interests are at stake in the Ukraine war, the potential of the involvement of the U.S. military forces, and whether America is engaged in a proxy war with Russia that could escalate into nuclear conflict. They also see the need to establish a plan to end this war and not simply provide weapons for a conflict that appears to have become a long-term stalemate. Again, the long-term stalemate. We're talking about an under 3-year conflict. We were in fucking Afghanistan for 20 fucking years, right? So we're nowhere even near the realm of fucking a long-term conflict at this point, right? This is nowhere near a never-ending war, as they say. This is not a religious war. This is a war of conquest. This is a war of material. This is the war of historic values in cities that have value to both states. So again, I just think a lot can be learned by reading what plan this gentleman put in place to Donald Trump, what he put in front of Donald Trump and his minions that caught their attention so much that he is now being appointed the special envoy to Ukraine and Russia to try to quell what he thinks is something that should just be ended in place, something that should just be frozen. Basically, Ukraine basically cedes the territory that Russia now holds. It's going to be somehow we think that everybody's just going to lay down their weapons and go on with their daily lives as if nothing ever happened. And the Ukrainian people are not going to give up this fight, right? So we can take away our weapons. We can take away our ammunition. We can take away our satellites and whatever help that we've been sending Ukraine over the past two and change years. It doesn't matter. They will fight with fucking sticks and stones, and they will break Russian bones. Right? These fucking babushkas will fill up as many fucking glass containers with flammable fucking cocktails. Stick a fucking rag in them, stick a t-shirt in them, and call it a day. Light it on fire, and the first fucking Russian that comes down the street's getting torched. All right. And the second Russian that comes down the street's getting torched. And if you take me out, my cousin will be there to take the next Russian out, and the next tank, and the next tank. This is going to end with U.S. support either way. I have fucking news for you people. Nor do I want it to. I admire the Ukrainian people for their resolve, for their willingness to continue this fight when it seemed hopeless, when it seemed overwhelming in the beginning, when this was said to be a 72-hour operation by a long line of armored vehicles heading straight for fucking Kyiv, in the capital of Ukraine, right? Did the Ukrainian people give up? No. Did they just say, hey, walk right in, let us fucking come into Kyiv? Absolutely fucking not. And was a lot down to Russian incompetence as far as equipment, as far as tires, as far as, their reactive armor on their tanks? Absolutely. Absolutely. But no matter what, the Ukrainian people were never going to give up. They were never going to give in, and they will never give in, and which is why I have so much respect for them. This is why I involve myself in that situation as much as I possibly can. That's why I talk about it as much as I possibly can, to make sure that it's on the minds, to make sure it's on the lips of individuals, to make sure that we know people like Keith Kellogg and his plans don't have Ukraine's best interests at heart. And unfortunately, we forced Volodymyr Zelensky into a position where he has to ask us, where he has to now fucking kowtow to Donald Trump and the people that have the power to take away their ammunition and their equipment and their ability to fight a war on a scale even somewhat close to the ability that Russia has when they're continuing to pump out men and machinery in artillery shells, in North Korea supplying troops and artillery shells. So again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bore you with this shit, but I think it's hugely important to make sure that we understand what these policies are, what these plans are when it comes to Ukraine, when it comes to Russia, when it comes to Israel and Gaza, inside the United States, domestic policy. Let's not just kind of glance over it and gloss over it and talk about it like it's headlines. I want to dive into this. So this is why I'm kind of talking about this plan here. We'll go through just this first paragraph. Might pick this up on another show, and then I think there was one or two more things that I want to show you before I let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sundays afternoon. All right, so let's see here. I think we left off here. A primary requirement for the America First approach to the United States national security is, first, a competent and decisive commander-in-chief, a president who exercises strong leadership on the world stage, names exemplary national security officials, and implements a coherent and effective foreign policy to protect America from foreign threats and promote its interests abroad. The America First approach also requires a strong military, to the prudent use of U.S. military force, and keeping U.S. troops out of unnecessary and unending wars. It means working in alliance with partners to promote regional security, and while requiring alliance members and allies to carry their full weight in defending security in the region. Based on these principles, we believe that the tragic failures of the Ukraine war exemplify why the America First approach to the U.S. national security better addresses the challenges this type of conflict poses to U.S. national interests and how it could have been prevented. Most importantly, the America First approach to national security provides guidelines on how this war can be brought to an end. Now, this goes into how an America First policy, foreign policy, reduced risk from Russia during the Trump administration. Talks about how Biden's national security incompetence resulted in disaster for Ukraine. Biden misjudged Putin before he ordered Russian troops to invade Ukraine. Let's see here. Biden's errors at the start of the war. So you can tell how these headlines were literally focused and targeted right at Donald Trump, to be shown directly to Donald Trump, because he's not going to read the fine print. But he probably glanced over the bullet points in the bold points there, where it talked about how Biden did a bad job. It was Biden's incompetence that led to this, which is what Donald Trump needs to hear. He needs to hear that he's somehow better than Joe Biden, the person that he's now to come out in behind and take over power for. He has to feel like he's somehow morally superior in all aspects, which is Keith Kellogg did a great job of playing to Donald Trump's weaknesses to make sure that he got a job, to make sure that he was somehow involved in this administration and in this specific aspect in the Ukraine-Russian war, or as I like to call it, the brutal invasion of Ukraine perpetrated by Russia on an illegal basis by an authoritarian madman dictator fucking piece of shit. but that's a little too long for a title, so I understand why people short it down. How's everybody doing? You sticking with me? I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if it's a little glitchy at times, but I think it's been all right. I think we're getting through it. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blood Politics. Make sure you hit the like button. Please subscribe if you find yourself watching and sticking around and coming back for a couple shows week after week. If you find yourself being there, just hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. If you're on Twitch, you can become either a member or join the channel or follow the channel. And if you have a Prime account, it doesn't cost you any money. You can use that Prime account to, I think, subscribe to one Twitch account, I believe, for a monthly basis. So if you could do that, watching on Twitch, that would be fantastic. I know we're not up on Instagram right now because I went down after an hour and I really did not have the fucking patience or the, I didn't give it. I don't, it's a pain in the ass to do that every single time if you really want to know about it. Jesus. That's my saying. Producer Mel loves when I say if you really want to know about it, because I'm probably pissed off and ranting about something. If you really want to know about it, then I'm about to fucking tell you. Yeah, special military operation, my ass. Exactly, Andrew. Exactly, Andrew. And again, thank you to anybody that's gifted, anybody that sent a Venmo, $1, $2, whatever it is. Any contributions to the channel are fucking greatly appreciated. Again, anybody that donates gets recognized. Anybody that hits a milestone for a membership gets recognized at the end of the show. We got that coming up. So if I missed your super chat or your super gift or your thanks or there's emojis, drop the fucking emojis in the chat right now that Mel spent so much time working on. Those things are fucking fantastic. Get those things popping in the chat. Let's get the chat popping. The more people are popping in the chat, the more fucking YouTube thinks that everybody wants to be involved and engaged, and the more they'll send it out to different people. So if you could do so, and there's Bowie. There he goes. There it is. Thank you, Sally, for the one gifted membership. I really do appreciate it. Even a single gifted membership, if everybody were to do so, would make a huge difference to this channel. Excuse me, it really, really, really would. I hugely appreciate it. Even one. Yes, look at the dog emojis. When do we get the dog ones? That's fucking cool. Judy, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, maybe on the phone update, because my phone just did an update too, and it kind of changed all the emojis. So maybe that's new. I haven't seen that one before. I like that. Let's say, Wes, can we make each other well? Well, that's what I'm hoping to do, Wes. I hope that's at least a little bit of what this show does. You know, it gives you a little bit of sanity, mental clarity. You can always come here and feel like, all right, at least there's somebody that still thinks the way that I think, believes the things that I believe, is not going to give up the fight, has a loud voice, has strong opinions. You may agree or disagree with me, but, you know, at least have some, I hope you have some respect for, you know, the ability to get on camera and to express my opinions, because it's not always that easy to stick your face in front of a camera, send it out to the world. And, you know, you think you know what you're talking about. You think you have opinions until that fucking camera goes on. And then you kind of second guess a lot of the shit. And then, so that's when you really, the shit that's really down deep and the shit that you really believe comes out. And I hope that's what I'm getting across now. So I really appreciate you guys. Let's see. I think there was, oh, thank you, Jerry. Jerry, 7 months. I do. Who, Logan wants to say hi? Oh, it was? Yeah. Fucking come on down. Be the next contestant on Blunt Politics. He's coming. He's coming. I feel bad he was blurry before. Come on down, buddy. That's all right.
No, it's crazy town.
It's all right. Crazy town. Come on. Come here, bud. Come here. Say hi to the blunt,
Hi.
to the Bryantologist. Come here. All righty. All right. So as I was saying before, and I apologize that it was blurry, this is my buddy Logan. This is Mel's son. He is absolutely fantastic. He's a wonderful human being. He's incredibly intelligent. He is going to be the next up-and-coming YouTuber, I swear. He's already designing games. He's already coding. Oh, Bowie's jealous. Come on, Bowie. Come on in. Come on. It's a family party. It's a family party. Mel?
No.
Come on. All right. All right. Well, we got the whole party here. We just want to make sure that, you know, from our family to yours, that you know that we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Again, we hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your friends and family, and the people that you love and the people that you care the most. Shout out to Slacks for the t-shirt. Let's go, Slacks. Can you say let's go, Slacks?
Let's go, Slacks.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. But we appreciate it. Thank you, Logan, who always tells me when I need to be fixing stuff on on the the sound side or the video side. He went back and watched his pod earlier and did not really care for the fact that it was blurry, and I don't fucking blame him. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't blame him. So he wanted to hop back on. He wants to say hi to the Bryantologist, all the lobsters. Can you give us your best Boston accent on the way out? Give us the best.
Mario Kart.
Careful, don't step on Bowie. Careful. You got it? Good job. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man. All right. We always like surprises. Whether it's Hal, whether it's Logan, whether it be Philip Ittner, any guests that we have on here, Major Ojeda, anybody that hops on here, we appreciate. But yeah, Logan has been literally dying to say hi. Yeah, technical director Logan. Exactly, Bob. Exactly. He's going to love hearing that. Yeah. Drop those emojis. You might have to get a Logan emoji. Just one with
It's not happening.
just one with
No.
bedhead.
No, we're not.
Any guest is awesome. Yeah, right. And Bob's like, yeah, anybody that breaks up the monotony of hearing Boston Brian talk the whole time is welcomed. Yeah, we appreciate it. We got something for him. I think we got
I'm just
yeah, he'll like this.
dandy. I got a bowl of chocolate pudding in my underpants.
I love that one. Oh, it's so good. Well, he likes this one too. He's told me many times that he likes this one. Hold on, let me see if I can get it right. It's this one right here. He loves the Obama. He hasn't gotten to this one yet.
Dumps, big massive dumps.
Big massive dumps. All right, there was.
Don't tell him that one.
Oh, thank you, Independent, for becoming a member for 7 months. Keep up the great work, Boston Brian. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. Julie, thank you so much. Hi, Logan. Great kiddo. And Pump, have a good week. You as well. Julie, we appreciate you very, very much. Thank you so much for the contributions. And I'm running out of time here. There was like 2 things that I wanted to show, but I think I'm out of time. There was... Oh, this is a good one. Here, we can show this one real quick. This is exactly what you want from the person in charge of the nation's health, right, Mel? Producer Mel sent me this one when she saw it. Let's see. Let me share this one. Do this. This is what you want to know, right? Where is it? Fact check. RFK Jr. says heroin helped him reach the top of his class. What the? You know what I mean? This guy's going to be in charge of our nation's health. The guy that
Put the turkey in big fat of lard.
right, the guy that cooks turkey in lard, the guy that literally desecrates a bear's body, puts it in friggin' Central Park or something. The guy that literally took a dead whale off a beach. That's not even to start with his marital infidelities, his marital issues, his past drug issues. Let's see here what they got to say. Robert F. Kennedy nominates made some of the habit of sharing unusual and outlandish stories from his personal life during the. From claims about brainworms to bear cub controversies, he was the subject of admitted to wild anecdotes to stun the public. Let's see. I want to read the one about his heroin. What about the heroin one? A post on X, formerly Twitter, by the account Republicans Against Trump, posted November 25th, 2024, my birthday, and viewed 3.5 million times, said Trump's nominee to lead the HHS, Department of Health and Human Services, says that heroin helped him study. The post included a video of Kennedy, which says, I was at the bottom of my class. I started doing heroin. I went to the top of my class. Suddenly, I couldn't sit still and read. I could sit still and read. Excuse me. A post in response by epidemiologist Dr. Eric Fiegelding posted on November 25th, my birthday, 2024, and viewed 1 million times. Said RFK Jr. says the shooting heroin helped him read again. My God. Let's see. Yeah, what's the fact check? The video of Kennedy is authentic and his speech hasn't been altered. It is from June 2024 episode of the Sean Ryan podcast, in which he spoke at length about his history of illegal substance abuse. A clip shared on X did not include was the surrounding context of the conversation in which Kennedy spoke about the guilt of breaking sobriety pledges he made and what he suggested were attempts to self-medicate with heroin. Quote, I'll tell you something about heroin. For me, it was I did very, very poorly in school until I started doing narcotics. Then when I went to the top of my class because I, in my mind, was so restless and turbulent, I could not sit still.
He's crazy.
He is crazy. He's fucking nuts. I could, the teacher would be at the front of the room talking, and it would be just like noises coming out of her mouth. He later said that his life fell away fell away through heroin use. I was probably at some level medicating myself, but it worked for me. And if it still worked, I'd still be doing it, but it didn't work. So wait a minute. So if heroin had somehow made your life better, you'd still be doing it as HHS? Anyway, quote, it starts, it really, it works really great in the beginning, but then it begins exacting a cost and, then it costs, and then the costs get worse and worse. You don't say. And it kills you. It killed my brother. It destroyed your relationship. It's destroyed. It hollows out your whole life, and you have a one-dimensional life. But again, just the fact that we can even utter out of our mouths, like one of the nominees to be in a top government agency and pick has like desecrated a bear, has stolen a whale carcass, has told about how heroin helped him out in school, has cheated on his wife. I don't know, what is it now? 17 times just in this last fucking campaign alone. Again, it's like the fucking Twilight Zone we're in. Like the fucking Twilight Zone. Never gets fucking, it never ceases to amaze me. And then let's see, there was one more that I wanted to show you. Wasn't that one? Well, I think we got through it. I do think we got through it. Should we check this one more time? I get a kick out of him, so I really do get a kick out of what this guy writes. Let's see here. One more time. Let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hopefully your NFL teams do well or did well if they've already played. Let's see here. We already read that one. So he's not truthing too much. Let me see. I'll share it so you can see it at least. Let's see what I'm doing. He's not truthing too much. His last truth was 4 hours ago, where he announced Masoud Boulos will serve as senior advisor to the president on Arab and Middle Eastern affairs. Masoud is an accomplished lawyer and highly respected. Again, just another guy that we have to dive into his background so we can figure out what the hell we can expect from a hugely important position in a really volatile place on the globe right now. So anybody, again, is this another? It's got to be better than Jared Kushner, right? This has to be better than Jared Kushner. It really does. To put Jared Kushner in charge of Middle Eastern affairs and say that he's going to somehow fucking produce peace in the Middle East was just one of the most absurd things this country may have ever have witnessed in its fucking life as far as government's concerned. That is just absurd, really. So at least this guy, whoever he is, hopefully has some history, some past involvement with either side in this conflict and has some awareness at least and doesn't want to just continuously blow up the whole thing, which I believe is Donald Trump's plan for a lot of the government agencies. Is basically just put people in charge, will slowly kill those things. It's not going to be like a chop the head off right away. What they want to do is just slowly corrupt these agencies, slowly make it so the government in the citizens of this country don't have trust in these institutions and these, in these different areas of government, and they will slowly go by the wayside. This isn't, I don't think, something where they're going to go in and just totally blow everything up. So another boil the frog slowly moment where we just slowly, if we don't do anything, watch our government agencies, the DOJ, FBI, CIA, foreign policy positions, just literally die on the fucking stake, just wither away because people don't know what they're doing or have the expressed intent on destroying those governmental positions and stuff. So, all right, well. Again, I'm not going to do what I did last week and try to look for something to go out on a bright note on because that failed fucking miserably. Good look. All right. Let's see if we can find something here. Let's see. I'm just going to type in good news. See what happens. Good news. Positive stories. Let's see. 2 different species of human ancestors left footprints at the same spot on the same day 1.5 million years ago. World's most intrepid twins break world altitude record flying over the Alps at 8,000 feet. Well, I don't know about that one. Let's see here. Good news movements. There's actually sites dedicated to good news. Who would have thought of that? That's like strange. Right? Like, isn't it doom and gloom that sells? It's probably why I've never heard of these sites. Let's see here. First new treatment in 50 years for asthma attacks and COPD could be a game changer. Annual Santa train makes special stop to deliver joy to hurricane survivors before beloved Appalachia whistle stop tour. That's good news. That's easily compostable bioplastic now replaces millions of plant pots across New Zealand while nourishing soil. That's good. That's good. I already said that one. Oh, heartwarming free. Oh, let's see. I'll share. Can I share this so you can at least see what the fuck I'm looking at? Let's see. Share screen. You can at least look at the good news while I'm sharing it. Good news. We are sharing good news. And then I'm going to put you on screen like that. And then add that to the stage. Here we go. This is a site dedicated to good news. I shit you not. I don't know if the stories are real. No idea. But it does say heartwarming freedom of 5 orphan bear cubs released back into the Colorado wild. That's a happy story. Alaskan woman drops Thanksgiving turkeys from a plane to help feed off-grid neighbors. Hopefully he didn't drop them on them, and they knew they were coming. That could have been dangerous. 20-pound bird dropped from a plane. Jesus Christ, be like a missile. Giant 2 gigawatt, 1.21 gigawatts geothermal project in Utah gains federal approval. Italy recovers treasure of Etruscan artifacts clumsy tomb raiders dug up. That's good. Last one. Mars rover takes over another. No, I don't give a fuck about Mars. Anything that Mars has to do with Mars makes you think of that fucking other loser. All right. More than 30 stranded whales rescued in New Zealand by people lifting them on sheets. That's good.
Aww.
Right? That's nice. That's nice. You never want to see 30 whales stranded. Never want to see that. But yeah, let's go back and we'll thank everybody that contributed. I honestly thought they could fly, Jim says. You talking about the whales? I didn't get any soup. No good news for you. No soup for you. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I know. 1 point. Yes, there we go, Toby. There we go. 1.21 gigawatts. Great Scott. That's what I need. I need a Great Scott drop.
Man,
instead of this.
I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Good what? Drops?
Like, not the guy.
Send me some drops. Send me
Taking
some
it back
drops.
to Nevada
I
where
like
he's
this
wanted
one.
for banging horses. I say mud. I said crud. You fall into some crud or something?
That's great. Well, this one, as soon as Donald Trump steps foot on Air Force One, you could say,
Get off my plane.
that's what I'll say. There's so many of them. But yeah, let's thank everybody that donated and contributed to the show. There is a lot of you guys. Nick Rich, 56. Nick Rich, number 1. Listen, my man, you were fucking highly entertaining during the Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving Zoom. If you are not still hungover, I would be amazed. I don't know if you fucking were drinking grain alcohol or what it was, but if you could ship some of that shit over to me, fucking, I want to have a time like that too, because that was fucking fantastic. It was borderline inappropriate. Almost called the FBI at one point, but it ended up being fucking brilliant. And I appreciate you watching. I love you, my brother. Hold on, let me get big on that one. There you go. Seriously. Borderline inappropriate, kind of maybe on the opposite side of that line at some points, but you brought it back, and your message was clear. You just wanted to keep fighting. That's all. So Nick, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being a long-time listener and a contributor to the channel. We do appreciate it. Cool Breeze, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. I appreciate it. Steven Sayers, let's frickin' go. Listen, let it fly, my man, Steven. It feels so much better to type fucking, right? Just let it fly. No, we don't censor shit over here. No censor. But again, if that's what you prefer, that's what you prefer, and I appreciate it, and I will respect it. But thank you, Steven. I do appreciate you, brother. Luis, thank you so much. Boston Brian, what are your thoughts on Elon trying to buy MSNBC? Glad to be a member from the beginning in the next 4 years. Well, Luis, first off, thank you for your contributions. Thank you for being a member and being here for 8 months is fucking unbelievable. I really do appreciate it. You're here every week, and don't think that it's not noticed. Secondly, I think we saw this coming, right? I think we saw this coming when Elon saw the power that he accrued and power that he held once he had full ownership over Twitter and could pick and choose how to run the site and what to promote, what not to promote. I think it was only a matter of time before him, his billionaire friends, his Saudi investors realized that you know, if they could buy a lot of these networks, or at least the influential networks, you know, we almost stand no chance in this fight, right? That will be almost game, set, and match. You know, but that's if people still watch those networks. Again, I've heard their viewership has dropped something like 50% since the election. I'm not sure if that is MSNBC alone, or if that's, you know, an aggregate of like all the channels together. You know, that, you know, CNN, MSNBC, you know, the left leaning channels that people would say that aren't left leaning, that are owned by MAGA assholes, but somehow get like a left leaning monicum on them. But yeah, I think it's only a matter of time. And as long as nobody's watching it, like, you know, as long as nobody's using Twitter, he only has so much power. It limits his power on that. If nobody watches MSNBC, even if he does buy it, it limits his power on that. Like I said, we just have to find alternate ways to get our voices out. You know, make sure that we're spreading our word to different places, so that if one gets shut down, we still have the ability to live stream to another. And that, you know, he can never totally silence us. That's what we have to do. But great question. I appreciate Luis. Again, let's not get too like the world is on fire. Not saying that you are, but let's not get too, you know, into a hopeless situation. If, again, it's only, the station's only as good as the people watching it, to tell you the truth. So here we go. Trucker John, appreciate you, my brother. Let's see here. I need a blurry filter. Yeah. Sometimes after a long night, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind the blurry filter just all day, so you couldn't see the bags under my eyes. That'd be good. Appreciate you, John, though. Thank you so much. Let's see. ERT, let's go. Hey, buddy, I'm still here, and I appreciate you being here 9 months. I think that's the longest I've seen. I don't think I've seen longer than 9 months. So ERT is right up there. I appreciate you, brother. OG ERT. Sally, let's go. Been a member for 7 months. Get out the chat. Hit that like button. I would really appreciate it, because this is Blood Politics. I'm Boston Brian. The more you guys share, the more you guys like, the more you guys comment, the better it is for the show, the better it is for this platform, and the more accessible it is to get our word out and opinions out to people. So thank you so much, Sally. I appreciate you very, very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Colleen with the $50 like a saint. Thank you so much, Colleen. In the spirit of Giving Tuesday, support nonprofits. Again, something everybody should be doing. If you just check out one nonprofit, if you check out Get Dem Shirts, My Shopify, which is our merch site, we contribute, we donate to several nonprofits on there. One of which being the United 24, which is Volodymyr Zelensky's fund. What are some other ones? Mothers Against Greg Abbott.
Will you put the Zoom up? I didn't get a chance.
Oh, the Zoom, right?
Because I didn't get a chance to do that.
Let me see. Yeah, so let me do this. So you're talking about the one you just did?
The December Zoom.
All right, let me see this. Just hold on a second so I can do. I just have to add this. No, that's all right. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Only take me a second. Only take me a second. Bear with me. One moment, please. I do appreciate it. December Zooms right here. Just want to make sure that, and thank you again to the YouTube channel members and the Patreon members that joined us for the Friendsgiving Zoom. It was fantastic. I had a lot of fun. So it's very cool to see you guys in your natural habitat, talking about anything other than politics. It's pretty cool. So, whoa, you've got a lot of files. Each brand is limited to 100 images, videos. Please delete some files before uploading more. All right, so I'll delete this one because I don't need this one. It should allow me to do one more. I don't even have that much, I feel like.
You delete nothing.
Yeah, it's true. I don't. No, I do. I go in and delete the overlay every time. Should work this time. 1 second. But yeah, thank you to everybody that came out. It was very, very it was very cool to hang out with everybody. Let's see. Yeah, these are the December Patreon Zooms right here. So December 10th is going to be the monthly Zoom, and December 17th is going to be the VIP Zoom for VIP members of the Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Boston Brian. Check that out. 3 great tiers. Each tier comes with its own perks. Whatever tier fits into your, financial capabilities at the moment. If you can do so, I would very much appreciate it. If you can't do so, do not worry about it. There are just as many free things that you can do. Like I say, like, share, subscribe, comment, share it out to people. All stuff that's free that you can do that helps the channel just as much as, as anything else. So I do appreciate it. Again, check out the getdemshirts.myshopify. Any of the merch, the donations go to some great nonprofits. Any Ukrainian merch that gets sold, anything above the cost of the t-shirt, gets donated to United 24, which is, again, Volodymyr Zelensky's fund to help the people of Ukraine. That would be fantastic. Please. And then I think I was at, let's see here, Colleen. Where'd you go? Here you are. Oh, Panhat VR. What is this? Merry December, everybody. Let's go from Logan. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate the contribution.
That was like the beginning of the stream.
I know. I'm just recognizing everybody now. It's so hard to see the chat when it goes by. It goes so fast. I can't see everybody, but I appreciate it. Or should I thank Mom? Did you have to ask Mom for $5 so that you could do that? You did? I knew it. Well, thank you, Mom. I very much appreciate it. And thank you, Logan, for even thinking about doing that. It is very, very generous of you. I really do appreciate it. I'll have to I'll return the favor when you get Obama. When you get monetized, I'll return the favor. And I'll give you an Obama. Yeah, I'll give you one. Here's an Obama for you. Well, you can play it back afterwards. You can play it back after. I'll give you a
Obama.
It's a triple Obama. Thank you, Logan. I appreciate you, buddy. I really, really do. Triple Obama for Logan. Thank you. Appreciate you. Sally coming back in with the 10. Thank you. Today is Giving Tuesday in Boston. Brian, great idea. Colleen, Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Colleen. Thank you much, Sally, for recognizing Colleen. Thank you so much, anybody in chat that recognizes people that contribute, that donate memberships. If you get a membership donated to you, if you get to receive a membership that has been donated, make sure you thank the person that came from, because that is money out of pocket that they did not have to do, that you are now receiving some rewards for. So please make sure you thank them. It's very generous of anybody that comes out of pocket for a show like this. I am just a tiny, tiny fish in a really, 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 really big sea. So thank you to anybody that pays attention, that watches, that shares. I thank you so much. Thank you, Arizona Sunflowers, for the $20. I thank you so much for the super sticker. That is fantastically appreciated. Thank you so much, Kerry Alexander, for the super sticker, $5. Thank you so much, JD. Thank you so much, Wes. Thank you so much, Patrick, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Moms Russo. Happy Slacker Sunday, Brian. Rest after Black Friday. Get ready for Cyber Monday. Thank you so much, Moms Russo. I appreciate it. And again, this is the time of year where you get to hear everybody that was just crying about their wallets, crying about the economy, crying about how much they have to spend for shit, go out and spend billions of dollars on needless and unwanted bullshit for Christmas. The same exact people that were hurting somehow, now they're not hurting. They'll go on to spend roughly $10 to $12 billion this Christmas season. Thank you, Arizona Sunflowers, for another 20. Love you, Brian, at first, nah, but I learned to love you. And what? Hold on. I gotta read this slow. Love you at Brian. At first, nah, but I learned to love you and see who you really are. A sweet, gentle human being and kind friend. Oh, thank you, Sunflowers. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. I thank you for Steve. That's very important that you stick around, because I'm sure, again, there's a lot of times in a lot of these shows where if it's the first moment that you're hopping in and you're seeing me do something ridiculous and crazy or yelling and screaming or ranting and raving, that it could be off-putting. But I appreciate anybody that sticks around for a little bit longer to at least give the person a chance to, show their side and what they actually stand for. Because everybody gets mad, everybody gets angry, everybody gets upset, everybody has a joking moment, everybody gets goofy, but you can't judge somebody just based on that one moment. So I appreciate you adding up all the actions in coming to that conclusion. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Tony, my man, I do appreciate you. Thank you for the super sticker. Let's see what this one is. This is SCV 23 Skidoo Street, gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. Awesome name, first off. Almost impossible for the creator to say as it's going by in the chat. But once you get a hold of it and once you can read it, it's pretty friggin' cool. SCV 23 Skidoo Street. I like it. 23 is my favorite number, so I'll take it. Colleen's back at it. Thank you so much. It's going to suck. Take care of yourself, friends. It is going to suck, but we're going to make it through it. It's going to be rough. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of bullshit that we're going to have to deal with. There's going to be a lot of shit that we're going to have to call out. There's going to be a lot of looking at Donald Trump's face when we don't want to look at his face. There's going to be a lot of hearing his voice when we don't want to hear his fucking voice. But unfortunately, that is the cards we've been dealt. That's the hand we've been dealt, and we can only play it to the best of our ability. So thank you, Colleen, for your enormous contributions to the channel this week. I really, 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 really do appreciate it. And then Sally, and then we got Carl, and then we got Jerry. Keep on keeping on. Let's stick together. I appreciate it. El Stinko Fars, 7 wonderful months. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. I really do. The number of months is really what gets me is people that have been here for a long time. Independent, 7 months. Julie, thank you so much. Hi, Logan. Great kiddo and pup. Have a good week. I will pass on the message if you didn't already see it. Let's see here. Maria, thank you so much. Thanks for the Sunday Sanity boost. I appreciate you not only being here, thank you for the kind words, and also thank you for being a member here for 3 months. It's hugely appreciative. It really, really is. Sheldon, love the show, Brian. I'll have to watch it in full later as I just got back from the granddaughter's hockey game. Love it. Hope she did well. Hope she played well. I'm always rooting for the granddaughter's hockey game, and don't worry about it whenever you guys catch this, whether it's live, whether it's a day later, whether it's a couple hours later. Fine with me. That's cool with me as long as you're supporting the show, as long as you're watching, liking, sharing, commenting, that type of stuff. It doesn't matter to me when you watch it. You guys don't owe me a thing as far as your time is concerned, and I know everybody has lots going on, especially on Sunday. So again, I appreciate anybody that joins in and watches. Thank you, Sheldon, so much. Let's see here. Thank you, Becky. Thank you for, let's see. Ooh, I clicked it too many times. Thank you for all that you do and spreading the truth everywhere, Boston Brian. Keep up the good work. Big hugs to you, Mel, and Logan, too. Thank you so much, Becky. Very much appreciate the kind words. Thank you for the support, and thank you for the contributions to the channel. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend and a wonderful day. Benny Loco, supporting silently from the darkness. Thank you, Benny Loco. I do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. I know it's, when you give so much of yourself and don't get the result that you want, I know it's easy to be defeated and feel depressed and kind of want to pull back from it. But we need you. You are hugely important in this fight. And I thank you so much for even continuing to stay involved, as I know you had no other choice whatsoever. So thank you so much, Benny Loco, for all that you do, all that you've done, and anything that you will do in the future. So thank you guys. Anybody that supported, all 30 people that I had to recognize. You guys are fan-friggin-tastic. I will let you guys go. As usual, we went over time, but not by much. Not by much. I think we did good. But again, I'm just trying to get us acquainted. Last show was Pam Bondi, talking about Matt Gaetz, talking about his appointments, talking about these people, what they've said in the past, what their ideas are, what they plan to do in the future, what Kellogg is planning to do with Ukraine and Russia. I think that's where the focus of the show might be. At least up until Inauguration Day. That way we can at least have everybody as informed as humanly possible. The people that are watching this, the Bryantologists, the Lobsters, at least you guys can be as informed as possible on who these people are, what they plan to do, the stupid shit they've said in the past, what they actually, what their underlying motives are, that type of stuff. So I want to make sure that, we stay involved, we stay informed, we keep calling this stuff out. Again, we've gone, I don't know how many weeks now without playing a clip from Donald Trump. So everybody pat yourself on the back, give yourself a little fucking clap for that one. And we'll continue to call it out. We'll be here every Sunday. I don't think that's going to work, Mel. Mel is currently trying. She took the star off the tree. She's now trying to put a disco ball on top. She's up on a ladder. She's about as stretched out as she could possibly be. I don't see this ending well. I wish I could turn this camera around right now.
If you do,
She says, if you do, I will kill you. All right. Oh, it looks good. Oh, it looks really good.
Thank you.
I'll have to post a picture of the tree because Mel did a fucking fantastic job on the Christmas decorations she's put out so far. She's got a beautiful tree up. She goes at it hard, and I really do respect it because growing up, my dad and our family, we always did about as many decorations for Christmas as you could possibly do. And if we had an 8-foot ceiling in our house, we always bought a 9-foot tree. That's just how it works in our house. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I will let you go now in peace and prosperity. Go watch your NFL. Go eat your Sunday food. Have your Sunday dinners. Just make sure you stop back here next week, Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific for Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. Maybe we'll have a guest next week. Maybe I'll try to have somebody on next week with some to give us some insight on to what to expect in the future. Maybe either pertaining to Ukraine, the U.S. government, maybe some of the the intricacies going on with the lawsuits that are in place that may possibly have an effect or may possibly handcuff Donald Trump in some sort of way in the future, because people are implementing lawsuits. People are still going ahead with that, as much as we have kind of given up on the judicial system going after Donald Trump. There are still a few things that we can do. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. I will see you guys next week. I love you. I appreciate you. Go in peace. Go in peace, my friends. And now let me see if I can find Okay, no, that didn't do anything. Maybe this does.
I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis. I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis.
Thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. I know this is the time of year where everybody's got a lot going on as far as family, shopping, friends, and all that stuff. And Sundays is the time you guys typically do it. So anybody that stopped what they were doing to join us here today, continue to join us on Sundays until we find a better day. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Send it out. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Have a great day.
Fucking Nazis. Fucking Nazis.
There's no way we are going to allow a con artist to take over the conservative movement, and Donald Trump is a con artist. I can just tell you that a con artist is about to take over the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and we have to put a stop to it.
He's always calling me Little Marshall. And I'll admit, the guy, he's taller than me, he's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2".
He builds the wall the way he built Trump Towers. We'll be using illegal immigrant labor to do it.
For the rest of my life, I have the curse that I have little hands. Little hands. Refer to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. What in the hell was that all about?
He says rectum damn near killed him.
Here you got a little chubby going there.
I'm just dandy. I got a bowl of chocolate pudding in my underpants.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful love. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
China has total respect for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump's very, very large brain. They're just getting acclimated. You know what that means, acclimated? Never fight uphill, me boys, never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow, that was a big mistake. He lost his great general. And they were fighting, never fight uphill, me boys, but it was too late. Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was. The Battle of Gettysburg, what an unbelievable, I mean, it was so much and so interesting and so vicious and horrible and so beautiful in so many different ways. It represented such a big portion of the success of this country. Gettysburg, wow. I go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look and to watch.
Words, I have the best words. But there's no better word than stupid.
The population in Thailand is 63 million people. It is twice the size of Wyoming. Its chief exports are textiles, footwear, and rice. Each year, approximately 13,000 people are killed in car accidents in Thailand.
I'm just an average guy who read public documents where the elite said they were going to enslave us and destroy America. And I'm not going to be like yuppie scum and deny the threat to my country. I'm going to fight back.
Sit down when you pee like a good little girl. White people are a mortal danger to you and your loved ones. Is there anything worse than white people?
Donald Trump says jump 3 feet high and scratch your head. We all jump 3 feet high and scratch our heads.
My superpower is being honest. I will eat my neighbors. I'm here to date your 6-year-old. Cacophony, a crescendo, a finale, a coup de grace.
I am the chosen one. Wrong. I am the chosen one. Wrong.
I just sold an apartment for $15 million.
I said mud, I said crud. You fall into some crud or something? Taking him back to Nevada where he's wanted for banging horses.
No, get those lights off! Off! Turn them off, they're too bright, turn them off!
Obama. Obama.
We call them dumps, big massive dumps.
All I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets. You've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, and he's doing great. We're a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat. Eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. You know, they're just getting acclimated. You know what that means, acclimated?
Got a little chubby going there.
Later, guys. Have a good weekend. Love y'all.
The big, fat, sloppy United States.